Hey guys, this is Sarah here. I'm here with Trisket and Matticus, aka Matt, and we are going to do a PvP workshop. So, Tris, if you could introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Trisket, and I used to make Langrisser mobile videos on YouTube, and I might start again. And I'm going to be helping Lux review Matt's account.
And Matt, if you could give us some context as to how long you've been playing the game, your history in PvP, anything like that, before we get started.
Sure. I believe I started Langrisser Mobile about a month or so after it started. And for a long time, I had no interest in PvP, so I'm pretty late to the PvP game. But I'm interested in advancing and seeing how far I can go.
Nice. Give us some context about your account. Are there a lot of heroes that you're missing? We can just start shuffling through your hero menu right now.
Sure.
And how did you do in previous seasons?
The first season, I believe I reached Silver 1. Second season, I slacked off and made Gold 3 super late. And this season, I am trying to start a little bit earlier, so I've already made Gold 3.
Nice.
But I seem to be bouncing off the bottom of Gold 3, so that's concerning.
Yeah. So you want to show us like what 6-star heroes you've got?
Sure.
Nice. So you have a Leonhardt, Yulia, Elwyn, Leon. Looks like Zerida,
Do you have Landius?
Juggler.
Oh, yes. He's about 6 days out from 6 stars.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay, so yeah, then you'll definitely want to be running probably the two meta tanks, Landius and Juggler, in your box for sure.
Well, I guess let's go take a look at your Apex box. Like, what are you running right now? Right now?
Sure.
And we'll probably have you bouncing all over the place,
Oh, no
but it's
problem.
just for context. All right, so for healers, we've got Close, Tia, Iris, and I'm assuming there's a Liana there. Yep, there she is. Juggler Landius, Bozel Rachel, Listel, Shelf, Luna, Zerida, Elwyn. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty solid and typical box. So you like the basically? Do you enjoy the general meta style?
Um, I haven't really tried any other, so I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't really say. I just recently switched Elwyn to the Lancer, so I
Mm-hmm.
haven't been using him for very long. Uh, and some of my characters are underinvested in terms of stars. Like Leanna is only 4 star, and
Mm-hmm.
Luna is still 5 star.
How far is Luna from 6?
I just started her, so she's only at like 10 shards right now.
Sure. Yeah. Um, let's see.
But she's on my current Gate of Fate shard priority.
And without like jumping into the hero menu, we could just talk about it here. What kind of gear? Like, does your Liana have a plushie, or what does she have for an accessory?
Currently,
Okay, she's got a crystal ball.
I do have one plushie, but it's on TRS.
Yeah, that's not unusual. What about your Iris? What is she running? Yeah, that works. And actually, let's just go to your hero menu and just hop in the gear, so we can just look at everyone's gear and just shuffle through down the list.
Okay.
You can just start with Bosel, and we'll just skip over the guys you're not contemplating using.
Sure. I made a mistake with Bosel. I have him demon class.
It's not the end of the world. I like Demon Bosel, but
Some people prefer it. It's really not that big a deal because mostly he's not going to be single target attacking, so the fact that he's demon is not a big issue.
Oh, okay. Good
what
to
do you
know.
what do you usually run on your Bosel, like skill wise?
I actually don't use him all that often, so sometimes I try and run him with sleep,
Sure,
and other times I just go AoE on him.
got it. All right, you can go back to gear and just keep shuffling through.
Usually I'll switch Holy Ring from Lana onto Rachel when I use her for Apex.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. And you can just arrow over from here. And you don't use Lena. Okay. How is your int on your Yulia? So it's at 390. Let me just take a look at mine real quick.
It's a little bit light compared to other Yulias, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, 390. I mean, that's workable. What's she light on? Is it enchantments, AB?
It's AB. I'm guilty of slacking on AB, so that's I think a big reason why my enchants aren't that great. I think I want to switch the hearts to the int.
Yeah, the headpiece. Yeah, the two hearts on the headpiece and the armor should be int. The other ones look fine. All right, you can hit the equipment and just keep going. Also, why Tiara?
Oh, because I don't have an Odin's Battle Helm.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Landius looks good. What kind of stats does he have? Let me just pull mine up real quick. MDef is pretty good, or it's really good, and then defense could
Your,
use a little work, but
yeah, your defense is a little bit low. Your HP is actually a little bit better than most Landiuses, and your attack is just like slightly lower. So it's a pretty good Landius overall.
Yeah, I actually had a question whether or not I should try and re-roll on my weapon because it's responsible for the low attack.
let's take a look at it.
Okay, yeah, show us. Um, it's definitely not bad. I there's probably other things that deserve more of your time, but if you ever have the Thorn Scrolls, I mean, I would go for more attack probably.
The reason I've been holding off is because of a lack of scrolls and also because of the HP enchants on it.
Yeah, I mean that's a fine enchant. What do the other ones look like? Yeah, that's good. That's good as well.
I think the badge is lacking.
Yeah, it's between your badge and your weapon. That's the room for improvement. And also, I mean, that Landius is great if you can ban out a lot of their physical threats. I mean, like Zeradus is never going to kill Landius,
Okay,
but as long as you get rid of like Elwyn and Claret, the Landius should smoke most magic users.
cool.
Okay, let's keep going. Elwyn with boots and Peacemaker. I take it you don't have like infinite hand of tears to spare amongst all of your.
I have one unleveled Hand of Tear available.
Okay, good to know.
I was, because as I mentioned earlier, I just recently switched Elwyn to Lancer. I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't used him previously. So that's the reason for the Peacemaker and the Full Moon Enchants. I was considering putting a Chief's helmet on him
Mm-hmm.
because I was thinking I would park him next to my tank most of the time because I don't really know how to or know if I can play a rush style.
Sure. What's his green attack? 465. Mine's not geared, but I can compare that to a couple other people who run him. I think that's good. I think it's. Do you know if he one shots like Landius and things like that?
I've one shot Landius before. I'm not sure if he does it all the time again because I haven't used him that much. Um, I think I just ran short of one-shotting Juggler a couple of times because I had Lancers on him.
Well, I'll say, compared to my Elwyn, who has never failed to one-shot a Landius, your Elwyn has 30 more attack than I do, so I'm very confident in your Elwyn's ability to kill
Yeah,
things.
everyone I'm looking at on the leaderboard is less than that, so I don't see yours failing to kill unless I think it's attributed to troops. Like you said, you probably brought phalanxes.
Yes. Definitely when I'm going against Landius, I'm bringing Phalanxes.
I don't know. Do you think phalanxes are better versus Landius, Tris, or would you still bring
Masked
maids?
Maids, Masked Maids always do more damage simply because they have attack percent, whereas Phalanxes don't have any attack boost at all. They are purely defensive, so always bring maids. But if you have Steel Wing Warriors leveled up, those are probably better than maids versus Alandius.
Yeah, I don't run Landius or Elwyn, so I don't know. But I think most people still bring maids even into the Landius matchup.
Oh, okay.
Just do
Well,
more
just
damage.
just always bring maids over phalanxes, and then it's really up to you. Like if you ever invest in Steel Wing Warriors, if you want to bring Steel Wing or maids at that point, whatever works better.
Cool.
Okay, so your Elwyn looks really good. Let's keep going. Juggler, he looks solid. Let's take a look at his stats. 232 green defense. That's very good. MDef is a little light, but it's fine. HP's good. Yeah, he's really solid. And it looks like he's got the right gear, so yeah, no, that's exactly what you need Juggler to do. Oh, and you're running 2 and 2. What's blue do? Defense?
Defense and MDef, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that works. All right, let's keep going. Leon. Let's go back to your Leon. I just want to take a look at him.
I was considering using him because
Mhm.
of the his 3C, but I don't have a balance blade.
Okay, so that's what's holding you back. You just flat out have 0 balance blades, or
Correct.
okay.
0.
In that case, yeah, I would. What is it? What's his green attack? 479. So it's up there. But yeah, reconsider Leon if you ever get a balance blade.
Cool.
But for now, we won't belabor that. You can hop over to the next guy. All right, Demon Slayer Leon Hart.
With clock enchants, I like it.
What does his
I wish I
attack look
was
like?
wish I was ballsy enough to do clock enchants.
463. Is your Leon prepped right now, Tris?
Yeah, I can take a look at him. So mine's at 485, but I have the most insane attack rolls on him, so 463 is pretty good. It could use just a little bit of work, but yeah, it's pretty good all around. Not bad attack.
I mean, do you think
And
that'll kill Juggler if it strips water or defense?
I think it could.
I think I did it once.
Have you
Yeah,
ever failed
so
to do it?
I think I've only used him once against Juggler, so.
Yeah, that's fine. And the rest of the stats look good. MDef is a little light, but all right. What was his equipment again? Got it. Okay, next.
I just had a quick question
Mm-hmm.
about the enchant on his boots.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it's worth it to try and reroll for crit.
no.
Well, I mean,
I don't think so.
the crit. I mean, I'd probably stick with a 10% attack, but I mean, the crit is what activates what Demon Slayer, right?
Yes.
Yes. Mm, I
I
that's
just don't
it's
know
very
how.
tricky.
I just don't know how impactful it would be.
I mean, I would say like I would do some tests with some people against their jugglers just in like friendly matches, and if you don't have trouble killing jugglers, then maybe you can sacrifice losing a bit of attack. But until you figure out what your threshold is for killing jugglers, I wouldn't touch that roll.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep going. Or actually, I want to see why he's not stronger. What are the other enchants?
The equipment enchants?
Mm-hmm. 4% attack. Okay, next. Okay, and what's his weapon? And what's his AB stuff look like?
Yeah, that's where you're hurting. You're missing 17 attack in total.
Yeah, you can get about 10 more pretty easily if you get some more AB enchants. What about his PvP one? That one seems a little dubious. Okay, it's fine. He'll probably get the job done. But yeah, whenever you get some time, toss some more attack into his armor and headpiece.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
all
and
goes.
if you raise those, then you can afford rolling for crit on the accessory like you want to.
Okay. Yeah, it all goes back to the lack of AB enchant rolls.
Yeah, we all
Whoops.
struggle with this. Okay, let's go back to gear and keep going. Close, she's fine. Why does she have a last rites though? Just because she can wear it, or are you rolling in last rites?
Both?
How many last
How
rites
many
do you
last
have?
rights do you have?
I think I have 8.
Okay,
Holy smokes! Then yeah,
so you're good.
great.
What about how many gifts do you have? How many gift of eternal life?
I have 3. I only leveled 1.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
great.
plenty.
Yeah, that's plenty. You'll want one for Deedlit, by the way.
How many
Oh,
Tenyos headdresses do you have?
only have 2, unfortunately.
Okay, one's on close, and who's the other one on?
Uh, at the moment, it's on Leanna.
Got it. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, next.
That's all good. Yeah,
And what
that's
are her
good.
stats look like? What's her defense and
Oh, yeah.
is that a good D, Tris?
The defense is a little bit light, but the HP and MDef are good for a 4-star.
Oh, it's 4 stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we can go back to gear and keep going. Luna with a meditation ring.
Oh,
Why do
yeah.
you have a meditation ring?
The meditation ring is only on there for arena auto AI defense.
Okay, so what do you normally use her in your Apex box?
I do. I have a veil that I normally have on her.
Okay, that looks a lot better. What's her MDef?
Seems fine.
Okay. Yep, that's pretty good MDef.
All right, let's keep going. You don't
I'm
you don't
actually
use Sherry, right?
I don't, but I'm thinking of incorporating her using the Hazuchio thing.
With Leon?
Oh.
Or what do you mean
No,
the Hazuchio thing?
where he uses
Mm.
the goblin
Mm-hmm.
things, and
Yeah.
so he uses her as a to bypass guard.
Let's take a look at her gear. Or actually, she's 452. Okay, what's her gear look like? Because that's a good attack. Okay, Devil Axe, Shin Guards.
So do you not have a Ragnarok?
So I have one Ragnarok, and I'm not sure whether to put it on Elwyn or to put it on Sherry if and when I put her into my box.
I would put it on. If you're gonna run Sherry, I would definitely put it on Sherry because Elwyn has other
Yeah, Owen doesn't
options.
need it.
Like his exclusive sword is arguably his best one because if you get two sword souls in a game, that's GG.
Okay.
Are you not using his exclusive sword?
I don't have it yet. I can get it, but
Sure.
again, I just recently started using him, so I wasn't sure what to do.
I
Yeah.
would highly, highly recommend his exclusive. It's very good.
Okay,
And your Luna has Cursed Lance, right?
correct.
All right. All of this looks good. I'm assuming her AB is fine, given that you have good attack.
Is okay because I'm currently in the middle of trying to build her up for Apex. So
Will you show her AB?
yeah,
What's her like attack?
It's 40. Oh,
it's not that high.
I mean,
Well, like
click on
on
the
the
other
what?
one. Yeah,
Yeah,
55.
55. Yeah, once you level that up, your green number will be in the 500s.
I'm betting
So
that's a really low weapon or accessory.
Yes, it's not very high.
I just that one too. Yeah, but no, I mean that's fine. That's a good start. Once you polish her up, get a higher shin guard, and then polish up the AB stuff, she'll be very powerful. All right, we can keep going. Okay, Zerida's gear looks perfectly fine. What's her green attack? 431. I think that's fine.
yeah, mine's 433, but my Zerida does fail to miss some kills sometimes. But that's just because Zerida's a super high investment character. You have a good Zerida.
I mean, it looks like he could improve the AB stuff too,
Yeah, you could definitely improve the AB stuff.
and that'll make it even a lot better. What are her enchants again? What type of enchants are you using? Breeze. Okay.
That's just so I can switch it over between different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Breeze is one of her best.
Okay, we can keep going. You don't use alti
I
shelf.
I don't use them for PvP.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I just started using Shelf for lack of anything better to put in my box.
How do you like shelf?
Uh, I mean, she's only 5 stars, so she
What what's
seems
her
okay.
what's her green in? Okay, so that's a little below average.
Yeah, I'm
I get
pretty
that you just
dubious of
built
the
her.
shelf.
So like here, that's a situation where I think your Leon would complement your box so much more because you're running like Leon Heart in your box, and if you need to, Leon could even buff Leon Heart.
Right.
And you're also running Elwyn, so actually Leon could buff Elwyn too. So it would just, I think it would be more synergistic.
Yeah, I was thinking before to have her because she can buff Princess and she can also buff Yulia.
No, I mean her factions fit into your box fine. It's just a matter of like Leon is, um, a kind of a meta character right now, and Shelf isn't, and so there's a reason for that.
Even without the balance blade?
Oh yeah, you don't have a balance blade. My bad. My bad.
I mean, shelf's fine, but let's just keep looking through your gear. And you don't have any other types of accessories for Liana?
Such as
I don't know. Just click on Crystal Ball and then replace, and we'll just take a look at what you got. Like, I see that your Imelda has Dimensional Jewel. Or not Dimensional Jewel, but
oh, the goddess tier.
Goddess here. And I'm not saying put that on Liana. Well, actually, if yours is 4 stars, she could definitely benefit from it.
So more so than the silence protection.
Yeah, I mean, the only one who's going to silence you these days is going to be Bozil, practically speaking. And really, we don't see terribly many silence Bozils anymore.
Yeah, they often opt to run faction buff, and because of the 6 pips now, there's no room to put seal in the lineup.
Um,
Do you have like an extra like juggler plushie?
Unfortunately, no. I only have the one.
Okay.
Alternatively, it's something that you could put on someone like Tiaris or Iris, and then move like a juggler plushie over to Liana for the prolonged gospel. But scroll down. Let's see what else you've got. I mean, Lambda's sitting on a holy ring, which is just flat out an upgrade from Crystal Ball. Is Lambda? What do you use Lambda for?
Guild Wars.
Got it. Keep going. I want to see your level ones. That's stuff just not leveled.
I have unleveled holy rings.
Yeah, I mean, I think Holy Ring would definitely be an upgrade for her. You're sitting on so much ore. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, Holy Ring's just straight up an upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Or, but we'll
definitely
talk about
like
it later. I mean, we'll get into the maybe moving gear around later. I just wanted to get a feel for what you're sitting on.
Sure.
But Dimensional Jewel and Holy Ring, I keep saying Dimensional Jewel. I mean Goddess
Goddess
tier.
tier.
Yeah, definitely consider moving those into your box. So
Lux has a problem with names. He gets everybody's names switched up. He calls like Iris, Tiaris, and etc. I have to correct him. It doesn't
Yusuke.
work.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to your gear and keep going. Same thing with the headpiece and staff here, nothing better.
I do have better, but I've just been pulling back due to limited resources and not knowing who to prioritize what for.
Sure.
So I could put a, I mean, I could potentially put another holy ring on her, and I have Yggdrasil's wreath I could put for the headpiece,
Yep, that's a straight up
as
upgrade as
well
well.
as well as a goddess's left hand.
Yeah, those are definitely some of your priorities. And you said you have a lack of resources, but if you alchemize all that SR stuff that people are wearing, you'll get all the gold back, which you can then use to level up the better gear. So.
Right.
Okay,
And
let's keep
plus, to
going.
me, it looked like you had 6 Draupnirs that you're not using, so you could definitely get the ore to level them up.
Cool. I'm currently farming shards for Yusuke for future use.
Yeah, that's a good one to work on. So I think Iris was it. Yeah, I think Iris was it. So, let's see. Let's go to your inventory, just your bag, and take a look at your gear. Okay, you've got a bunch of Giants resistances, Hand of Tears where they need to be, and you got an extra one. You got some Kage armor. Okay, let's go down a little bit. Okay, let's keep going. Are you just holding on to the drop nears just because you don't know what to do with them?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Okay, so we can help you there. For instance, the elven belts, complete trash. You'll want to, they're down. The purple belt, the white and purple belt. Those are complete trash. You'll always want to get rid of them. Those are free ore. Same with the purgatories, the red staff right next to them, complete trash.
Yeah, you might want to actually, Tris, if you could just type in chat so that I don't have to minimize it. Just make a list of items we'd recommend just see completely ore.
Okay.
And whether you do or you don't, that's up to you. It's just
Recommendations, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and if you get rid of all this stuff, then you can for sure level up your healer's missing SSR stuff.
And the way I'd look at it is more of, I mean, yeah, maybe some obscure hero 6 months down the road needs a purgatory, but you've got plenty of time to get more purgatories. And if you invest in your Apex box now, you'll get more rewards, and that'll yield profit going forward.
Right. Good point.
So, did you write down the drop nears, pergs, elven belts? Tris?
I didn't write drop near. Okay.
I'd
If
even
you
get
could
rid
keep
of the.
scrolling down.
Yeah, get rid of
Oh,
the.
isn't it? Do you mean the Eye of the Beholder?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
When you talked about the drop near?
That's what we meant. My bad.
No. I was talking about drop near.
I'm talking about Eye of the Beholder. I don't think it needs
Okay.
more than one leveled up.
Okay, I'll
I
write.
just didn't see drop near, so.
I saw drop near earlier when he was going through the
Yeah.
equipment. Okay, if you could keep scrolling.
I'd get rid of the unleveled blue moons. You have 3 leveled up. You should definitely level up a red moon.
Yeah, the red moon is best for people like Rachel, Mystery Knight.
But if you already have a really good roll on your blue moon for Rachel, that's fine. But still, hold on to that red moon. Toss the blue moons. Keep going. You have so many Soul Stealer headdresses. I don't think you need
You
more
could
than
get-
3 leveled up.
Yeah, you could get rid of a couple of those. Since you have 6, I would keep 4 of them so that if there's ever a character that needs one, you can just use the others to level 1 up to level 50. I mean,
Right.
that is a good headpiece, so I would never keep more than 4 because you don't need, like, you wouldn't need more than 4 to level 1 up to 50.
Gotcha.
Sherry could definitely benefit from a King's Crown.
Oh yeah, you got some King's Crowns down there. Oh yeah. You'll definitely want to level up both of those and put them on anybody. They're amazing.
I'd get rid of all of the Reaper's Breaths that you don't need. Well, that's not level 50.
Yeah, you get rid of the level 1 Reaper's Breaths. I'll write that down too.
Okay, you can keep going. All of those,
Death
gosh,
robes.
yeah, death's robes. You also don't need any more galaxy cloaks.
Oh my gosh, you have so many Galaxy Cloaks.
Jeez.
Yeah, you won't be. I mean, like I said, you can keep 4 Galaxy Cloaks just in case you ever need to level up 1 completely to level 50.
Right.
But you definitely don't need, what is that, 11 Galaxy Cloaks?
Yeah, I think I'm just hoarding.
On top
Yeah,
of the
you are
2 that are
definitely
leveled
hoarding.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, on top of the 2 that are leveled up.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yep, and you got 2 excess rights. That's good.
I'd get rid of the mirrors.
Yeah.
I think you just need the 1. Especially if you're sitting on unused Aeoluses. have some nice gear.
You could get rid of a couple of the bloodlines. They're kind of rare, but you have 6 of them, so you don't need 6 of them. Keep scrolling.
Oh
You
my
have a
goodness.
ton of left hands. So you um your Iris, you can completely salvage her SR staff and then just use 4 goddess left hands to make 1 level 50, and that's
Yeah.
a significant upgrade.
Yeah, that was my long-term plan. I just hadn't done it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd get on
like
that. Yeah.
yeah, get on that.
Okay, keep
Will
going.
do.
Oh, what were you gonna ask?
No, I just said will do.
Oh, okay. Um, I really don't think you need any more Seal Guardians. You can reallocate Lewins somewhere else if you need to.
Yeah, so you can get rid of your extra seal guardians.
Okay.
You don't need those Angel Feathers either. Maybe keep the level 31 or pump it up to 50, but I mean, it almost feels like a waste of gold because no one really uses it. Holy Grails you can
Holy Grail.
toss.
Holy Grail sucks. True Cross sucks. Holy Grail.
Arc isn't great either.
Cross. Holy Arc.
Do you have any plans on using Mystery Knight or Deedlit in the future?
I'm sorry, your audio was cutting out.
Any plans on using Deedlit or Mystery Knight in the future?
I tried and failed to roll for Mystery Knight. I intend on getting her on the Valentine's banner exchange.
Sure, then hold on to your star earrings.
Star Ring is best for Mystery Knight and Deedlit, by the way. So you can keep
Oh,
all of those because you can use those to level up.
good to know. And I do plan on trying to roll for a Deedlit.
Okay, you got a lot of veils, it looks like, and really only Luna uses it, so I'd toss your veils.
I would keep 1 veil just in case you ever need like an extra, because it's not a bad one.
Drop mirrors, you can toss those. You got a couple dimensional jewels, which is great.
Yeah, keep both those dimensional jewels.
Yeah, I
Okay,
just never found a place to use them.
They're really good on either Lana or Ren.
Oh, for single target.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
You don't need those dark crowns.
I was thinking of putting it on Amelia when I build her up. On her
Yes.
holy class.
Yeah, but I don't think that's her best.
I don't know. It might be. I mean, MDef is kind of her thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could always hold on to them if you have some idea of what you want to do with them going forward.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like quite a few people use dark crowns, so yeah, that can be okay. Yeah, you can keep those.
But I think a lot of people use Gaia's helmet on Amelia. I might be wrong though.
Oh yeah, so if you ever replace your Elwyn's Gaia's helmet, then you can put that on Amelia.
Oh, right.
Okay, let's keep going. Okay, you have a couple of Tenyo's robes that are not being used.
So like earlier, I noticed that your
Sorry,
Rachel.
the audio cut out, Lux, so I didn't hear what you
Oh,
just
my
said.
bad. I was saying you have a couple Tenyo's robes that are not being used, and that's
Yes.
basically best in slot for every caster.
I plan on putting one on Rachel when I get enough enchant scrolls to roll Breeze.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, because you had a Galaxy Cloak on Rachel, and that's definitely not your best.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
have her on I have her on clocks right now, just because.
and at this point, I would be buying out the shop of the enchantment scrolls if you're not doing that already, because you have the aura to do it.
Yes, I've been buying them out every week recently.
Oh, great.
So I noticed you have a lot of Hydra bows.
Probably
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah, so Hydra bows are super common, and you definitely don't need at least the level 1s that you have. You could keep the level 40 if you would like, but Hydro Bow.
Sure, you could tell that some SSRs are more rare than others.
You cut out, Lex.
Oh, I don't know why it's cutting out. But I said, I'm sure he can tell that some SSRs are more rare than others.
Okay, keep scrolling. Okay, so there's your Ragnarok. You'll definitely want to put that on Sherry when you get the chance. And Throne Guardian is good on both Varna and Altamuller if you don't have Ragnarok for them, so just
I
let me
just,
know.
yeah, I just recently pulled Estelle,
Okay.
so I'm thinking down the road.
You
That's a
can get
lot
rid
of
of the
batteries.
batteries. Yeah.
You can keep one battery.
Or
It's rare enough to warrant keeping one, but battery is not that great.
but yeah, I think that about sums up your inventory. Sitting on a lot of ore though. Let's go look at the store. I just want to see what you bought out, what you haven't bought out on equipment.
You have 4,300 ore.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't see any armor that you need, so that's fine to skip that. And if you're wanting gold, you should be buying out the 3 SR armors or equipment pieces because you're not going to do anything with the 250,000 blue ore that you have.
Yeah, so if you buy those out, then you can salvage all the equipment you get from those SRs and get gold for them. It's not a lot of gold, but it adds up if you do it every week.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess let's go look at your Apex box again. Now that I know what gear you're working with and the stars you're working with. Now, it sounds like you recently changed your box up,
I
or.
did. Because previously I would rely to a certain degree on the mercenaries.
Mm-hmm.
And this week the mercenaries were not very good.
Are they
So
pretty
that's
garbage?
why, yeah, that's why I put in Shelf and I switched Elwyn to Lancer.
Have you had the opportunity to AB enchant Elwyn, or is he just.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
Oh, and
Okay,
you still
yeah,
have quite
they're
a bit
pretty
of
good.
room to grow on
Still 63.
yeah.
And what would you say is your biggest problem that you run into in AB or Apex?
I'm not sure what my biggest problem is, but I can say for sure that I think I take a lot of time on the pick and ban. It's not uncommon for me to run out of time. And then if it's a composition I'm not used to battling, then I guess sometimes I'll make a bunch of mistakes just because I'm not familiar with it.
Let me see your box again. You've got Yulia and Elwyn both in there. Okay.
I'm still really unsure of the Shelf. I feel like you could have a better unit there.
I have to think
'Cause,
on the shelf.
yeah. I mean,
Because
currently, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
as I mentioned earlier, I was planning on incorporating Sherry when I have the Goblin Knights or whatever leveled
Mm-hmm.
up. And I was thinking as well of Leon, but again, I'm missing the balance blade, so I wasn't sure if it was worth it.
Yeah. So I'm looking at your box and I see 4 major threats. So I see Yulia, Elwyn, Listel, and Zerida, or 5 actually, and Leonhart. So 5 threats, that gives you the chance to lock in one of those threats at least, and then they'll ban the others probably. You have a lot of support characters in your box, so like Rachel's a support, Luna is basically a support, because Luna won't be one-shotting things. Uh, and you have 4 healers, 2 tanks. So yeah, it's a very slow, like support kind of heavy box. You're normally only probably going to get one major threat per game, which is not a bad thing. You can work with that. Just means that you're going to have to, whenever you lock in your threat that of your choice, you'll have to make sure you can support it because it's going to have to carry you.
How do you approach band pick like when it first starts? Is there somebody specific you're looking to ban?
Um, I think I'm not super comfortable against Listel and Bozel because my healers aren't that built up.
Hmm. How do you feel
As
like when
well,
you're fighting a Zerida?
uh, actually, one of the matches I'm going to share with you, the player one first picked a Zerida, and I proceeded to get wrecked.
Okay. Um, do you just go in and start banning things like Listel Bozel first or early on, or how do you approach like when you first see a normal box like yours? What do you typically ban?
Uh, Usually, I'll ban Landius if I see a Claret or
Okay.
a Mystery Knight.
Yeah,
Usually, I
that's
try and ban one of the tanks first if they're running a 2 tank 4 healer.
sure. And I think that's a good opening for you. I think walking in banning Landius is going to make your ban pick a lot easier, especially if you just say, okay, if they have Landius Juggler, I'm basically going to ban Landius. And I mention that because I think it'll make your ban pick a little bit more streamlined if you just go in there with a preconceived notion of what you're looking to ban instead of trying to adapt to every nuance of their box. Plus, if you force them into a juggler pick, it's going to really prioritize. They're going to have a lot more incentive to ban your Listel because jugglers hate playing into Listels, and your Listel isn't great, so it's going to cover a lot of your vulnerabilities just right there. Do you like playing with Listel, or would you rather her get banned in light of someone else?
Yeah, I'm not super comfortable playing with Listel simply because she's not that strong. Mine is not that strong.
Yeah, mine isn't either. I don't think I can't remember the last time I've ever played with Listel. She's literally just basically ban bait in my box right now.
So I don't have a lot of experience using her effectively.
So I think if you're not comfortable playing Listel and your Listel isn't really strong enough to quote unquote carry you yet, then you should definitely first ban Landius, and they will definitely ban your Listel either probably second ban. It's always usually second ban.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that should cut down a lot of time on the ban pick for you. Walk in Banlandius. Another way to approach it is what do you second ban? Do you go for threats or how do you approach that?
Um, I typically go for Listel and Zerida.
Mm-hmm. And that's a perfectly fine second ban. Alternatively, you could go for the healers, ban 2 healers, force them to pick a healer that better
Here's
suits your playstyle.
And if they only have 3 healers, it's important to note that you can ban 1 healer and a threat, and then next turn ban 2 threats. So you basically, if they are playing with 3 healers, you get to ban 3 threats while they pick a healer. That is if they want healers. Otherwise, you ban them out of healers.
Okay, yeah, I was under the impression that if they're running 4 healers, that you're supposed to wait a little bit later and try and ban their threats first.
That's not always true. I mean, it really, honestly, like, I don't think it matters too much when you ban people with four healers, but the last thing that you want is him locking in, like, let's say Zerida, and then you didn't ban healers, and so he's okay running two healers, so he locks in Iris, and then he can teleport his Zerida and completely ravish your team. So, I mean, you just have to make sure that, like, if you leave all four healers open to him, it's very likely that he will pick Iris to teleport somebody or just lock in his favorite healer early because people can still win games with two healers.
Okay,
have you ever had a claret attack into your juggler?
it's probably happened, but I can't recall off the top.
So basically, if my claret attacked into your juggler, she wouldn't kill it. She'd get it really low. If you had a Tiaris, my first attack, your juggler would heal up with healing light, and my second attack wouldn't be able to kill you because of the minus 50% debuff. So in a ban pick situation where I second pick claret, I'm looking to ban your Tiaris and one other healer because that's going to force you to pick a healer, and you don't have a healer that can save your juggler from my claret. It doesn't look like you're running a tank buster like Mystery Knight or claret, so it, second banning healers is less important.
Yeah,
But
the only tank buster that I would say you have is Elwyn, and in some cases Leonhart. Or Yulia, if you can get her like an attack blessing, she can one shot tanks too. But you don't have anybody with super high mobility.
and yeah, Elwyn's just gonna shred through their tanks no matter who they or their tanks no matter what healer is supporting them. So but yeah, Zerda Listel is a pretty good second ban or third ban if you ban healers second. And then you aim for Bozal like in the third wave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, strength wise, I think a lot of your characters are completely up to par with what most Langrisser rank players are running. The Shelfenils, the Shelfenil and the Listel are kind of the weak links here. But yeah, let's just go take a look at one of your games and see how it went. Is it with this box or?
Yeah, I believe the matches I was going to share are from earlier today.
Yeah, let's go take a look at those. And we'll just slow it down at like every stage. So like pause after somebody bans, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
And you can just pause
Oh,
right off the
hey,
bat.
Lex, isn't Lufia somebody else that we're doing a workshop for today?
Oh, yeah, I think they're doing it next potentially. Okay, so Lufia's running Landius, Juggler, Tia, Liana, Iris, and Weiler. And then Zerda, Yusuke, Rachel, Yulia, Listel, Luna, Angelina, and Hiei, and Claret.
Yes. So their box is a lot more, I would say, aggressive than your box
Yeah, they have a
simply
very
because of the
aggressive
presence.
box. Yeah.
The presence of Claret and Hiei just bump up your box by like 10 aggressive points.
Okay. But I still think first banning Landius, good ban. Um,
Especially
I
since they have Claret. I
I
like that ban.
anticipate he's gonna ban your Landius now too. But let's keep going. Let's see how it develops. Okay, bans your Zerda. He
Okay.
first picks Zerda. So if this was me and I'm running your box, I'd be looking to ban probably Claret and Luna. What are you thinking, Tris?
Um, well, definitely Claret. I'm undecided on the second ban. I would go for like either Claret and Luna, or Claret and maybe even Angelina. Like Angelina has a ton of range. It's a tough call.
Yeah, but I think Luna is going to turn that 7 movement Zerida into a 9 movement with 11 range.
Well, of course, but you
Okay.
probably wouldn't second pick
Okay,
Luna.
so let's see what Matticus bans here. Okay, you banned the.
Oh, okay. So that's your biggest problem right there, probably. I bet you probably lose the match to the Claret. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, we don't know if he even picks Claret, but did you ban Listel just because you don't like dealing with Listel, or
Correct.
okay?
So it's not that Listel was a bad choice. It's just that he picks Zerida, right? Zerida buffs Meteor. So Claret is your biggest threat at that point because she's gonna get a faction buff. Whereas Listel, I mean, he's gonna pick somebody else who's probably Meteor, like even his juggler, before he locks in a second pick Listel. So that's why you could have waited on banning Listel. Hiei is an okay ban. I don't
He
disagree with
is fine.
Hiei.
Yeah, I
Okay,
still think
and then
Claret Luna is a bigger threat here. But yeah, you can keep going.
okay, that's a good pick. I like that pick. Counters Zerida's range. Okay, so he bans your Listel and Luna. And then who does he pick? Claret.
Claret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you banned Luna. That's very good. Very good Luna ban.
Yeah. Great Luna
Um,
ban.
and Yulia.
So you when you see people like this, he's playing hyper aggressively. I mean, this looks like what I would do. You kind of want to split their capabilities here. So Yulia, I mean, we know Yulia's a 3 movement character. She's never going to have 4 movement unless she gets a lucky breeze. And if she's that slow, she's not really going to help with the follow up. She might be annoying to deal with later, but I would be focusing on his high mobility characters like Angelina and Yusuke, maybe, because they're going to have massive range that can help support Zerida Claret when they dive forward.
Yeah, so the Luna ban, that was definitely a good ban, but I would have, instead of Yulia, banned Angelina for the reasons that Lex said. Somebody who first picks Zerida wants to go full aggro, and they're probably not going to pick Yulia unless you give them to her like 4th or 5th pick.
I can guarantee you that Yulia's there because let's say you first ban Zerida and you force him to run someone like Landius, then he's going to pick Yulia for a slower playstyle. He's not wanting to run Yulia with Zerida and Claret. But yeah, keep going. Okay, Elwyn's fine.
I like Elwyn here because Elwyn can normally survive a Zerida attack.
You have to consider, though, that Elwyn can normally survive a Zerida attack with winged shin guards, is my understanding. I don't know about with Apex boots.
So what you could have opted for instead of Elwyn was potentially picking Leonhart. I know it seems a little bit weird because it's not like you get a faction buff for him, maybe, but Leonhart completely shuts down Rush. So he banned your Leonhart because he knows that Leonhart shuts down Rush.
Did he
Oh,
just ban Yulia and Claret right now? Or is the other guy
Yulia,
about. I
he
mean,
just banned Yulia and Leonhart.
Lufia, after Matt picked Elwyn, Lufia banned Yulia and Leonhart.
Yes.
Okay. I would have probably considered going with Yulia here. Yulia
Yeah,
is going to be
Yulia's a good pick
incredibly
too.
difficult to kill. So, like, let's say that his Zerida can come in and snipe your Elwyn. His Zerida can't come in and snipe your Yulia. If his Zerida comes in and snipes Yulia, she revives, and Zerida no longer gets hide and seek, and you can just go pick her off later. And when you see hyper aggressive comps like this or heavy assassin boxes, he's got. If you look at his box right now, he has nobody that can kill Yulia. Rachel would one shot Yulia, so Yulia revives, and then you heal her up. Angelina one shots, Yusuke one shots, Zerda and Clarette they one shot. So
Also, Matt, I don't know if you're aware, but Hiei is one of basically the only characters in the game who can completely kill a Yulia. So if you were going to second pick Yulia, that Hiei ban early on was very important.
the
Just for
Hiei
your
and
future
Listel
games.
ban, like Hiei and
Yes.
Listel are the only two characters in his box that can deal with the Yulia. So
Good to know.
yeah, okay, you can keep going.
Okay, I was expecting that. So he's got a very, very high aggressive box. Okay, so I do like those two bans that you just did. The two healer bans. Those are the two most important healers I think you should have gotten rid of. Gotten rid of. What do you think, Lex?
Me personally, I'd probably have banned Yusuke and Juggler instead of healers. But if you want to ban healers, that's fine. I just don't even think he cares about healers at this point. But he might grab Weiler or Liana.
Well, Lex, I was asking, regardless of if the healer ban was right or not, are those the correct healers to ban?
Definitely Iris. And yeah, I don't think you want Tiaras either. Yeah, I think that was the right ban, healer wise. And then what would you pick here, Tris?
If I was okay, I would pick hmm, probably Rachel. Or well, Rachel can get one shot by Zerida quite easily. Either Rachel or Bozel is what I would pick here if
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean
Matt.
it's tough because they're all short legs. So I don't know what the right pick is. I,
Depending on how built his Crystal Warlocks are, his Zerida or Bozel could stand a chance of surviving a Zerida.
Rachel or Bozel. Yeah. Okay, you can keep going.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, I think
So,
Shelf's fine.
um, I disagree with that because out of like Rachel, Shelf, and Bozel, they're probably all dead to Zerida, and I feel like Shelf would probably give you the least utility. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah. All right, keep going. He picks Weiler
And
here. Okay.
so he does care about a healer.
Yusuke was a good ban.
Why'd you ban his Liana?
I figured because of again.
I would have I would have definitely either banned Juggler or Rachel in place of Liana. If he's an aggro person, he's not going to want to pick two healers, most likely. What do you think, Lex?
Yeah, I would have gone with Juggler, but it's going to be a weird match with the range that Lufia has. All right, you can keep going. You get Bozel. That was the right pick, obviously. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to take Rachel here.
You think he's going to take Rachel over Juggler?
Yeah, I think he'll take Rachel, but she can keep up better. But I don't know. Maybe he goes to the Juggler. And obviously, you grab a healer. So, all right, you can hit play. Okay, what skills did you
What?
bring on Buzzle? And Elwyn and Shelf. Okay, Sleep and Earthquake. And Faction buff. And what about Elwyn and Shelf? Okay. Desiccate, Demolish, and Sanction. So, oh, Shelf gets buffed by Landius. Got it. And what is his Zerida running?
Dark
Okay,
Elves.
Alhazard, faction buff, and what about the Angelina and Claret? Okay, Lightning. And what's that Claret? Probably just normal Claret. Yep. Okay. You can just let it roll for now. I'll tell you to pause it in a bit. Okay, so you're moving up pretty fast. It also prevents him from having much time to Alhazard. I mean, I don't mind any of this movement so far.
I figured the longer I waited, the worse it would get.
Yeah, I mean, you're right because he
That
can Alhazard.
that is right.
You can pause it real quick. I want to take a look at his. I want to see how that breeze proc affected things and where can his first of all where can his Claret reach? Okay, so she's not killing anything.
Well, she could kill his shelf potentially.
Yeah, I guess
So
so.
something you'll most people don't use Claret like this because they don't realize that she can do it. But if he were to attack your Landius with his like big boy attack, the lightning one, he could then go around. It wouldn't kill, so he would get a move again. And then he could go around and break your Shrine Maidens on your shelf and kill your shelf. Because even with minus 50% damage dealt, Claret still kills basically anything as long as there's no Shrine Maidens or Last Rites.
Ah,
Just with Roar. So your shelf is completely exposed here. I don't know if he capitalizes on that yet. Where can the Zerina move? Okay, so
And how far can your shelf move? Because it looked like she got breeze. Yeah, or tenuous.
what's the defense on your Elwyn? Okay, so that's pretty good. Um, yeah, we already went over this, but just next time bring maids. Maids are so much
gotcha.
better.
Right.
Okay, you can let it roll a couple more moves. Oh my god, keeps getting breeze. It's fine movement with Landius. Is that the act again? Yeah. But what's he gonna go for?
Bozel. And that will kill.
Hmm.
So you can pause it after this attack. I'm curious as to why you moved your healer before your Elwyn. Is there any particular reason?
Mm, I
I'm
think
just
I
saying
was
because
right. I think I was hoping for a breeze proc, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
okay, so next time I would definitely move your healer last since he could move both Angelina and Claret still. And if he attacks your tank, since he has turn priority, you'll want to make sure your tank is healed and you can make sure of that if you move your other units before your healer.
Right. I think what I was trying to do was to get a breeze proc on Elwyn so that he could attack Juggler.
Hmm. Got it. But you should get this Angelina kill, I'm pretty sure. And you can hit play now. Yep, save Sword Soul for Juggler. Freeze. Nope.
Sorry, I thought you said freeze.
Oh no, just
Or actually, I would like for you to pause it. I just noticed something. So, okay. Oh,
that
we did a
hit pretty
lot of
hard.
damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you click on your Owen? Okay, so if you had moved your Elwyn first before your close last turn, he would have been standing on the wall. And if he was standing on the wall, then your opponent would have been forced to either move his juggler out of range, making his Zerida vulnerable, or just take a hit from your Elwyn with his juggler.
And he would. Oh well, I don't know if he'd die now without mass maids, but you should have mass maids on.
Yeah, but basically, if you had moved your Elwyn one block closer, i.e., moving your close last so that your Elwyn can move onto that city wall, then he would have had the choice between taking a hit from your Elwyn with his juggler or leaving his Zerida exposed to your Elwyn.
Right. I think I was just trying to keep him out of the zone, and that's why I played.
Got it.
Yeah, well, if you moved him one up, wouldn't he be in guard range?
If he was on the city wall, he'd be in guard range. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you can hit play.
Do you have Highland Warriors built up?
Yes, I do.
So those are like 10 times better for close, especially if you want to be attacking with her like that. Like we said earlier, phalanxes do literally no damage. So if you want to bring Highlands or even Zealots, Zealots are really good if you can get a faction buff for close, which you do have a faction buff for her with Landius. So either Highlands or Zealots would be better for attacking with close. If you're not going to bring Discipline, I would stick with Phalanxes because with Phalanxes she dies to basically nothing.
Gotcha.
But you would have hit that juggler for at least half of his health with one of the other two troops.
Cool.
All right, you can hit play for a bit. Oof.
So yeah, if you had maids, you would have killed.
Whoops.
But yeah, so I think you only had just a couple errors in this game. Wasn't like you got snowballed, but also just I mean, we pointed it out along the way. It was good on you to move up, though. I think it would have definitely gotten worse if you had waited.
Right. Yeah, at this point, I had no thoughts of winning anymore.
I mean, did you leave at this point, or what happened?
No, I mean, I played it out, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean, keep playing. I just want to see how it develops. Got it. Hmm. Yeah, I mean that was close, and had your Elwyn had maids, pretty sure that would have been a different game potentially. I don't know how he
And
kills you with your Elwyn alive.
yeah, and also, like I said before, if your Elwyn was on the city wall, it would have made it much more tense for him. Because if he actually wanted to keep his juggler alive, then you would have taken his Zerida with your Elwyn if you had moved him up one onto the city wall. So just I would look for situations like that and move your healer last probably.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go take a look at another replay if you have another one you want us to see.
Is there time for two
Yeah,
or
for
only
sure.
one? Okay.
We're not doing anything
Uh,
else. Maybe Game of Thrones. Okay, let's see. Mixor is running Landius, Juggler, and Estelle.
Blandford, Matthew, Ren. Okay, so I see a very heavy
How many
LS
healers?
focus.
Two. I only see two healers. Am I blind? No, I think it's just two.
Okay, so there's two healers. Okay, you can hit play. First ban Listel is I mean I don't like first banning Listel. I would either prioritize a tank or a Zerida, but first ban Listel is fine.
yeah, so the reason I didn't ban a tank is because I saw the three tanks, so I figured
Hmm.
it wasn't that important to ban a tank. And again, just because I'm not comfortable dealing with Listel, that's why I picked her.
And you could still force a tank pick by first banning a tank.
So the reason behind first banning a tank is not to be like, oh, you better pick a tank because I'm banning your tanks. It's more so I don't like fighting against certain tanks. So like if you don't like fighting against Landius because he reduces range damage, that's why you ban Landius. Somebody who like me who runs assassins, I can't play against Landius because my assassins do crap for damage.
I mean, alternatively, he can. I mean, his Elwyn, I'm pretty sure can deal with either Juggler or Landius, no problem.
Yeah, Estelle though on the other hand, doesn't she have like a ton of defense?
I mean, well, I guess she's a Lancer, so mass maids are gonna additionally shred her. I'm not worried about Estelle. He might just be better off first banning someone like Zerida, so he doesn't run into situations like the
Sorry, I
previous
didn't
game.
catch that. Your audio cut out.
Oh, no problem. I was saying because your Elwyn and your Yulia could probably deal with both Landius and Juggler, you might be better off just first banning someone like Zerida so you don't run into situations like last game.
Right.
And that's probably why you ban Listel, because you don't like having to deal with situations like that. So I guess it's fine. So let's see how it develops. Okay, you banned your Landius. He picks Landius. You ban Zerida, Sakura. I mean, those are good bans,
Yeah,
especially
because I
with
mean,
Yulia.
you do have to pick juggler, so the Sakura ban is justified.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that looks fine to me. Keep going. Okay, you can pause it real quick.
Oh wait, oh yeah, since this guy had two healers, I don't know if you even caught that he had two healers. You could have banned him out of healers instead of banning Zerida and Sakura.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that probably would have been a better ban. Get rid of the two healers. I mean, Estelle can kind of heal, but it's a really wonky way of healing. And especially with all of your. Yeah, I definitely would have banned the healers and gone with a caster team.
See, what I actually would have done in this situation was I would have banned his two healers, and then I would have locked in Listel I get that your Listelle's not built, but even still, she can still do her job. Listelle would shut down his ability to pick Yulia and Estelle.
Hmm.
Because if Estelle gets Reaper's touched, she kills herself with her AoEs, and if Yulia gets Reaper's touched, she kills herself with any attack. So it's just a thought. And then he would literally have no way of healing.
Yeah, and I don't know if you already do this or not, but the second a box appears, just count how many tanks and how many healers they have. That's all you need to really care about counting.
Right. I think at the time, when I saw the two healers, I figured he didn't really care about healers, and that's why I didn't ban them.
And he
So
might not, so I don't know.
that's a fine assumption. But there's also people out there who just have those two healers built, um,
Right.
and
Okay.
they just hope that you don't ban them. Um, but I
But
mean, even if your opponent doesn't care about healers, it still bans part of their support and utility, and it limits their options.
okay, you can keep going.
Okay. So who do you pick here? Mm, can you? Okay. Mm. Oh, do you only have Oh no, you have 4 healers. Okay, so why did you pick Tiaras there?
I think it was because I figured she would keep Juggler alive.
So if you need to pick, mm, so like, what are you afraid of Juggler dying to? Is my question, because his Ren is not going to kill your Juggler.
That's a good question. I think I just instinctively picked her to keep him
Hmm.
alive.
So I would definitely if you have 3 healers available, unless your opponent picks something like Claret, not early pick Tiaras like that.
Yeah, I'm willing to
I
bet he
think
ends up with 2 healers.
Yeah, and I think Listelle would have been an amazing pick there for you instead of Tiaras.
Yeah, I'm still new to the whole she's a counter to Yulia and Estelle thing.
Yeah, and she can just Reaper's touch Liana too, and Liana is completely useless for the next couple turns. So,
Gotcha.
and I don't know if I need to say this, but Listelle is not about her attacking into things. It's all about her debuffs. As long as you have her 3 major skills, that's all she's there for.
Okay.
You can hit play. Let's see. Yeah, Buzzle's a good pick.
Bozla is a good pick, but I'm confused as to why you banned Tiaras and Matthew. I probably would have banned Matthew and Juggler
Yeah,
because,
I banned TRS for the same reason that I is just because I figured TRS would keep the Landius alive.
and that's not a bad assumption, but assuming your Elwyn is running maids, he's gonna one-shot Landius anyway, so healing light's not gonna matter.
Right.
Especially if your Peacemaker procs and his talent doesn't activate, or his passive. But allowing him to have Juggler here actually allows him to have a faction buff for Luna, which makes her a more aggressive pick. I'm assuming he picks Luna.
Juggler.
Or sorry, yeah, Juggler.
All right, you can hit play.
But yeah, I wouldn't ban TRS if he's already picked a healer. Yeah, Juggler pick. Oh, he actually gives you Rachel. Okay. So pause real quick and show us what skills you brought. Just on everybody. Okay. What is mass resist for?
Oh, it was for Bosel.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, why no gospel on Rachel?
I think it was because I figured Elwyn could buff himself.
Okay. Sometimes Rachels bring gospel to buff themselves when,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I mean, your skill selection is not terrible. Something you could opt. So like, look at his Liana for a second, if you don't mind. What skills did his Liana bring? Okay, so she brought Sky Archer. So bringing bringing double AOE in this case with Seal. Is his Liana 6 stars? Can you click on her talent for a second? Okay, yeah. So his Liana is 6 stars, which most people are going to have 6-star Lianas, you have to assume. So bringing double AoE and Seal is going to be not important with Sky Archer cleansing 3 debuffs and then his Liana cleansing another 2. So I would have brought something on Bozel more like Sleep, Faction Buff, Dark Reaper, maybe.
Okay.
Just if you're running into a Liana, debuffs are not going to be as easy to stick. And if you had brought Faction Buff, then you wouldn't have had to bring Mass Resist on TRS, and you could bring Miracle. So
Right.
it'd be a little bit more efficient.
But to be fair, if he does it, I mean, I agree completely. But, and I would have brought like gospel, Dark Reaper on Rachel. But with Runic Void being like 5 debuffs, I could see Runic Void stacking and covering the seal with from Bosel.
Yeah, it could definitely work, no doubt. But I just feel like I mean, what if, for instance, that Liana is also wearing a Goddess tier? That would be 7 debuffs cleared in one turn.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
so
I
I would
get
just
that.
overall, I mean, yes, it could work if you were to do it perfectly, and Rachel and then Bozel, it could be very, very effective. But the safer play is to just bring some of both, like Bozel's faction buff and sleep. That
Also,
that's my
if it
advice.
looks like you're going to be locked into a lot of casters, you really want to ban Luna earlier on.
Right.
Okay, we can watch how this plays out.
You could have also, instead of mass resist, considered bringing mass heal on TRS for dealing with Ren's debuffs if that becomes an issue. But since you have Rachel to clear debuffs, it probably won't be. Is your Rachel 6 stars?
No, she's only 5.
Okay.
Does your Elwyn have Breeze?
Uh,
I just mean the enchant on.
Oh, no. He's still on full moon, so my long-term
Okay,
plan is put him on Breeze.
sure. He'll still. I mean, he'll hit harder because of this. So okay, you can keep playing. I'd be looking to attack Blessing your Elwyn and get that kill since he can reach.
Yeah, so there I would have, instead of mass resisting, definitely attack blessing Durell in there.
Right.
Because now he can't receive the buff, actually. Oh, are they invulnerable to receiving debuffs?
Oh, then yeah, maybe that was the play. Mass resist.
Uh, yeah, Mass Resist gives protection to some.
Does it give protection to buff negation?
Unbuffable. Yeah.
Immune unbuffable. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, in
That was
that
the
case, it
play.
was actually very good. Sorry, I didn't realize that mass resist gave that immunity. So
Same.
so no. That was very good, actually.
I was just
Very
kind of
useful.
hoping that it would negate buffs that hit.
correct?
So the fact that he brought Decay on his Ren, that was the best play to Mass Resist there. I thought Mass Resist only gave immunity to stun.
And now he can give attack blessing to Elwyn.
Yep. Oh wow.
Whoops.
That hit pretty hard. How much
I think that's
MDef
part.
does that Luna have? Or I guess attack. It's not terribly high.
But with coupled with Raging Thunder and you letting
Oh,
him bring Juggler as a faction buff, that hits for a lot.
and then he also didn't have a defensive buff, did he?
No, because he just brought. You didn't bring a
Mass
faction buff. You
resist.
just.
Yeah. Got it. Okay,
So
you can
I
hit.
think that's partly because you didn't bring a faction buff on your Juggler, which I mean, I'm not saying that the Beast Shock, Great Dragon Magic Barrier, and Triton is a bad combo, but with faction buff, your Juggler would probably not have died, and if you didn't let him get Luna and Juggler on the last two picks, then that wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
Okay, you can hit play. So Elwyn should kill Luna here.
You mean Juggler? Oh, no, you mean Luna. Goodbye, Runic Void. Oh, wow.
That's unlucky.
Okay, that's a good move.
I mean, Juggler or Luna is fine here. In retrospect, probably would have gone for Luna before the Landius could protect her.
Right.
Very nice
Just
kill on the Landius.
this should kill.
Yeah, so you got the 2 tank kills. That's very good. I think the issue here is just that you don't have a tank to protect yourself. Also, your Bozel is not going to be doing much to these people because of that Luna's
The
aura.
Luna, yeah.
So I'm assuming you black hole here,
I think so.
or Earthquake is what you have.
Silence.
So actually, can you pause for a second? Oh, that's bad. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. What skills does your Bozo have? Okay, so this is very, very minor critique, but instead of using Earthquake, I would have used Black Hole. One, because it has a greater chance to silence, and two, because it'll actually do damage to Luna. Earthquake doesn't affect flyers.
Correct.
But that's my... and other from that, don't line up your characters like that.
Yeah, you could have had Buzzle up one space to Black Hole. Or Earthquake, whichever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you can hit play.
Okay, not much else you can do.
Mm-hmm. That was bad on his part.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, but he got
but
the Spine Raider. It's very lucky. There's nothing much you can do from this point.
Annihilation, great.
Annihilation on Bozel.
Yeah, that's gotta be game. Yeah, I
Well,
think just a few tech choices, and like she said, had your juggler not been picked off so easily, you could have easily taken that one.
so I would say your main issues that game were letting him get Juggler and Luna both in the same game at the fourth and fifth pick. Either one
Hmm.
of them alone would have been handleable or manageable, but together they're a little bit too overpowered. And also picking the debuff skills that you did into his Liana and Sky Archer combo.
Right.
Also, let's not forget that he could have banned this guy out of healers.
Yes, yes. Should have banned the healers second pick. So just next time count the healers before you do your bans. It's very important.
Well, he
So
did.
is
He
there
just
like
didn't want to. Yeah.
is there a healer threshold? So if there are less than three, then ban too early, or
So
just wondering
so
if there's
here's an example. If they have a 3 healer box, you could first ban a healer, and then they're forced to either pick a healer as their first pick, which is super atypical, or they don't pick a healer and you just ban them out of healers. If they have 4 healers, you can ban 2 at a time at some point and then force them to pick a healer. Or if they run 2 healers like this guy, you could just
Second
um,
ban both the healers.
second ban both healers, which is what I would have done.
And for the three healers, I think I said this earlier, but my favorite way to ban a three healer box is to first ban a threat, so like Zerida or something, or Landius, as I do, and then I ban one healer and one threat. So then they have to choose between going pure threat or picking one of their healers. So that's like the most efficient way to do it with three healers because then you can get in both. So like if they pick a healer after you ban one healer and one threat, then you can ban two other threats. So you get to ban three threats just because you banned one of their three healers.
okay.
I hope I explained that correctly.
I understand. Whether or not I'll remember is another story.
Okay.
And if they're going to be bringing, if you know you're going to want to bring people like Bozel and Rachel, try to ban Liana and Close because Tiaris and Iris have a very difficult time removing debuffs.
Yeah, I didn't actually want to bring Bozel, so that might have
Yeah,
played into how I mishandled his
sure.
skill selection.
But if you see it coming down the pipe where you're like, shoot, Bozel's going to be my win condition,
Right.
then try to make a healer ban.
Yeah, and giving him single target attack skills would have been a lot better, for sure.
Yep, sleep would have helped too. Yeah. But yeah, you said there was one more game you wanted to go through.
Yes, yes. And after the match, I would like to get your input on my training grounds and how
Oh
I should
yeah, I
approach
wanted to look at
those.
your training. Actually, before we get into that match, let's go look at your training grounds. Oh shoot, it's reset. Better reset that expedition, boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that first. Probably need to reset mine too. Oh, look at there, a red dot. Welcome to Apex Workshops, where we also tend to our expeditions gotta be super optimal. Wow, you just put in one character. That's like optimal laziness. I don't even do that. Just puts in enough to get 100%. All right, so if you could just click through them each, like so your infantry is at 42% attack. Okay, Lancer, is that all at 40%? I imagine. Oh, you actually have a little bit there. Okay, cavalry. That's okay. You'll want to focus, if you want to run like Yulia with unicorns or Deedlit with unicorns or eventually Mystery Knight, if you ever get around to that, you'll definitely want to increase cavalry attack.
Right.
Flyers. Okay. That's fine. Archer and assassin. All right, and holy and demon. Okay, so you run um, Rachel and Bozel in your box, correct?
Yes.
So, and it seems like you play, and Shelfiniel actually. So it seems like you play with those characters quite a bit. So you'll want to work on holy attack mostly. I think attack is the most important stat for basically every training field except for probably Lancer. Um, so I would focus on your holy attack. Lex, was there anything else you wanted to look over on his training?
How are your goblin knights looking? Okay. Um, what kind of troops do you have leveled up? Just in general? We can just click through.
Yeah.
Take a look as we go. None of those. Okay. Got some Bolt Rangers. Is your
That's
TRS
good.
using Bolt Rangers?
Yes.
Okay.
What about your Iris? Is she using them too?
Yes.
Bro,
Okay.
why did you max out catapults?
Because it's kind of fun on Zerida with Elder's Bow.
No, no, no,
Do you,
I
no,
don't. I don't do it in
no,
Apex. I just do it
no,
other times.
no! And people yell at me for running Demon Zerida. No, no, not the catapults.
no, I've seen some people in China use it in Apex, but
Yeah, I don't plan to ever use them in Apex. Though. It's just for fun.
All right, all right. Well, I see you leveled up bandits. Bandits are good on Zerida too. If you
Yep.
ever wanna, I don't know if you have Hiei or not, but if you ever want to build Hiei, bandits are his best.
okay, what
Gotcha.
else do you have?
Uh,
Sky
Sky.
Archers. Okay.
So I heard those are pretty good for Shelfiniel, but I saw that you were using, what was it, wizards on Shelfiniel?
I was using the Shrine Maidens on her
Oh, okay.
because I figured she would just get killed right off the bat if she had the Sky Archers on her.
Okay, but you do normally use the Sky Archers on her, assuming there's no Zerida.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Though, I mean, I only just started using Shelf this week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it. But you would use the Sky Archers if there's no
Yes.
Zerida. Okay.
Yeah.
You can flip through like your other training fields. Okay, you got Zealots max. That's good.
Do you use Zealots on Yulia?
I haven't tried using them on her for Apex because I wasn't sure when that would be better for her.
Okay. You use unicorns
So,
on her.
yeah, I usually use unicorns on her.
Okay.
So Zealots are going to be better for her if you can't get, because I don't know if you know how unicorns work exactly, but you get a buff if you're on a certain type of tile.
The grassland and the forest, right? And the
Yeah,
mountains.
and mountains, I'm pretty sure. So if there's a map where there's literally like none of that, Zealots would be better.
Okay.
Okay, what else do you got? Sorks
Okay.
maxed.
Shrine Maidens. Okay. Okay, so the Crystal Warlocks, I want to bring that to your attention. um, if you ever have the, I don't think you should maybe prioritize it, but if you ever have the resources, those can completely shut down Zerida. Whenever somebody attacks into you, they're going to reflect, like I think 30% is the maximum of the damage taken, and they also like just somehow make you live longer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'd consider that a low priority though. I think Sorks are just fine.
Yeah, Slarks are just fine, but something else to note. So you run Luna in your box, right?
Yes.
If your Bozel and Rachel are wearing those or are using those troops, they're ground troops, so they'll actually your Rachel and Bozel would benefit from the movement that Luna gives if they're wearing grounded troops.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
So
wanted to make sure you were aware.
2 extra movement on Buzzle and Rachel is great. What kind of cavalry training do you have? Let's take a look at the troops and the perks. Okay. Okay. What is your 2 perks at? Like, which perks are those? Are those fine steel
That's
hose?
no.
High speed? Okay. Group charge. Got it. The 2 lesser important ones, I think.
Keep in mind though, Lex, he doesn't run Mystery Knight, so those last 2 are not nearly as important for him. But those last 2 that you see right there, the
Yeah.
2 perks, those will benefit your Yulia. Or yeah, your Yulia if she's using unicorns.
Okay.
And if you ever do run Mystery Knight, that'll also extremely benefit her. So let me see what the names of them are. So Fine Steel Hooves, that's really great for Mystery Knight because it increases her damage the more spaces she moves.
Hmm.
And Rapid Route, that's whenever you're attacking a unit that's being guarded. So
Yeah.
if you're like attacking somebody who's right next to Juggler and Juggler guards, it's going to do more damage because of that tech. So if you ever level that up, it's just something to keep in mind.
Right. Yeah,
What
I
about
think
your
that's where I'm looking for some guidance because it's so hard to get the mats, so I'm not sure where I need to focus all my materials into.
Do you do Aniki farming?
Not seriously.
Okay, how many burgers do you have?
A lot.
Oh
use
boy.
them?
Well,
You
let's take a look at.
show us the burgers.
Oh my
Use them on
lord!
Anikis. I
Calculate that.
know
How
it's.
many how many SSR mats is that?
I'll do it right now. Okay, 107 times 50, an average of like 20% or 20. Yeah, 20%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 0.2. Oh wait, I didn't factor in.
It's 5 times 16, so 50,
Yeah,
80. Every 80 stamina, he gets 1.
divided by 6 times 0.2. So you're gonna get about 66.875 SSR mats if you use all of those.
Yes. So you get 66 mats that you're just sitting on. Do you ever recharge stamina or no?
Not usually, no.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
I mean, it really depends on how much you spend. Like how, I mean, you don't have to say explicitly if you're uncomfortable, but like, do you buy the dailies or the weeklies?
It depends. I try and keep my spending as minimal as possible.
Okay,
So
even
I
if
don't.
you're even if you spend very very little, I would still consider recharging the 40 a day. Because if you complete your dailies, I mean that's 30 crystals right there, and I know you'd be at a 40 deficit every day, but it would greatly increase your training field, which is going to be a huge impact.
So you're saying to buy an extra 120 stamina solely for Anarchy each day?
Yep.
yes,
Okay.
trust me, it greatly adds up. One player that we know, he's been doing like up to the well, he used to be doing up to like the 150 every day for like 6 months, but now he's doing down to like the 60, and he'll have his training field, all the relevant stuff entirely completed in like, what was it, looks like 110 days.
Something like that. It's not too long actually.
Yeah, it's really not that
Um,
long, especially since there's no other training fields coming out in the foreseeable future.
I'd consider doing it at least until the Sunday shop opens up, because one is going to get you a lot. Do you know about the Sunday shop?
I'm not sure.
No problem. The Sunday shop just came out in China, so we're going to get it in like 4 to 6 months from now.
You cut out, Lex.
Oh, the Sunday shop is a it just came out in China, so we're going to get it 4 to 6 months from now. And basically, it takes a new currency called star coins and or Trinity crystals, and you can buy SSR mats from this Sunday shop for a pretty cheap slash fair price, like 15 crystals per SSR mat or two or something.
Okay,
So
that
at
sounds good.
that point, it might not be better to do the stamina recharges, but leading up to it, definitely would consider stamina recharges.
So you said you're a minimal spender, so you're not entirely free to play, of course, but like, you do spend a little bit. I think the 40 crystal is what you should be aiming to spend every day.
Okay.
Solely for Aniki farming, and please, for the love of God, get rid of those burgers. Like, get down to 10 burgers. Try to keep yourself around 10 burgers, okay?
Sure.
And that's something you can do while like watching Netflix or doing anything else. Just queue up and and you just put a Niki on auto. You don't need to actually try hard through it.
Oh, and also, I don't know if I need to say this, but do it co-op. You're gonna get 20% more runs in if you do it like just with random other people.
Right.
Um, if you're not doing it co-op, if you're doing it solo, I mean it's still worth it, but like don't do it solo.
Okay.
And I think your Elwyn's good enough. Focus on your mages probably or flyer or cav.
So I would work on the things that I would work on for you are your holy and demon training attack. If you're going to start running like Sherry with Goblin Knights, also increase Archer and Assassin attack. And can you click on like the elite training for Archer and Assassin? So Killing Blow, the one with the sword, or Killing Breath, that's like the best tech for assassins. So if you are going to start running Sherry with Goblin Knights, you'll definitely want to max that one out.
Gotcha.
As far as that, like your flyer and cav attack, you should kind of like work on the side. It doesn't seem like you use like terribly many flyers and cavalry, so you're not running like Claret or Mystery Knight or stuff like that. Um, and you can actually hold off on your cav attack if you want, since you'll be leveling up holy attack, which your Yulia can still use zealots. So it's I mean unicorns are by far better than zealots, but only if you can get the trait. So
Okay. So, in terms of attack, what level should I be attempting to reach before switching to another type?
so can you like okay, let me look. I would I would aim for like 60% for now, since well, you're going to be going through a lot of your burgers if you do what we tell you to do.
Yep.
So you could aim for like 60% attack before switching to something else. Eventually, you will want to get the attack percents to 70, which is the maximum right now.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
but I just think with how many like you use sorceresses a lot, you use shrine maidens a lot. I think the holy training is where you want to focus right now.
Okay, so it's not like I should alternate between two, like do level up one attack here and then level up one attack here and go back and forth.
Well,
And
if they use different materials, then you can level up multiple at a time.
Right.
So it really just depends on what needs what materials. So like if Archer and Assassin use two different types of mats than Holy and Demon, then you can level them up both ways.
Sure.
That's kind of like something you'll just have to kind of gauge for yourself. Like, okay, what Aniki am I farming today? What materials does that drop? What can I use those materials for? So we can tell you what's of high importance, but you're the one who actually has to decide, okay, what's getting leveled up first.
Sure. So the rest of the stats I can leave alone. So just focus on attack for this one.
I would.
Same thing for assassin. I don't have to level the other.
Yeah, assassins only need attack. I mean, obviously everything benefits from HP, def, and MDef, but that is the lowest priority for assassins.
Okay. What about for flyers?
So again, attack is probably the most important for flyers, but I would say that HP is pretty important too. For cavalry, same thing as flyers. Lancers, nobody uses lancers. And infantry, attack
Infantry is
and
pretty
HP.
low. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, you probably won't be using. Well, actually, you'll be using maids. So I would recommend. I
Trying
recommended
for.
attack probably. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What level of attack for Elven maids?
They don't need to be very high, and I don't think
So
Elwyn's going to be in there forever.
for instance, my attack for infantry right now, everything else is at 40%, but my attack is at 54%, and my Elwyn has never missed a kill, ever. Even through Blood Shield proc, my Elwyn doesn't miss a kill. And your Elwyn has 30 more attack than mine. So I think you're good. If you just level that
Aim
up,
for
maybe just a
50.
couple. Yeah, aim for 50 on
50?
that one.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Okay.
And if
And
you
also,
notice he's a little
I
light on kills, aim a little bit higher.
Sure.
I don't know if you know, but the most efficient use of resources for leveling up your core stats is to get the year 1 core to level 14, then the year 2 core to level 6, and then get the year 1 to level 20, and then max the other one from 6 to 10. And I can write that out for you if you would
Yeah,
like.
I did not catch all of that, but I definitely did not know that.
But you know what I'm talking about with year 1 and year 2, correct?
Uh, yeah, in terms of
What was released, basically.
yes.
Okay, yeah, I can write that down in the chat for you.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think we've got a better grasp on your training field. Honestly, like out of looking at everything so far, training field is your lightest area, and it's got the most room for improvement.
Okay.
More so than gear or stars or anything like that. Training field is by far the area that needs most improvement here. But yeah, let's go to your third game. Okay, so let's see what he's got. He's got Juggler, and I'm assuming no Landius since he didn't ban Landius. Juggler Ledin is the only tanks. Okay. How many healers? Tia, Liana, Iris. Am I missing one? No. 3 healers. No Listel, but he's got a Sakura.
Oh hey, Vivian's on our server.
Zerida, Leonhart, Sherry, and a weird Ren who doesn't look like she has much support. Does she have any buffers in that box? Bozal?
Bozel.
Okay.
Joshua?
And Joshua, yes.
Okay.
That Joshua is actually a demon. He's running a lot of demons.
Okay, you can hit play.
Demon
First pick
Zerida.
Zerida.
So out of curiosity, why didn't you pick Landius instead of, or why'd you pick Juggler instead of Landius? Is it because of the map?
Yes, it was entirely because of the map.
So that's not a bad decision because of the map, but running into a first pick Zerida, Landius decreases ranged attacks and critical hit chance. So
Right.
I guess it's really subjective as to which one's better depending on this map, but I would probably still opt for Landius just
Okay.
because of his insane ranged and crit reduction. Zerida's not gonna be as reliable for Vivian.
Okay, you can play. It's a weird second pick. You ban him out of tanks. Luna's a great pick here.
I really like Luna, especially since you banned his tanks. Luna is a great pick. Good job on that pick. He actually left you open with Listel, it looks like. That's very interesting.
You probably knew I didn't like her.
Yeah, I'm just saying because he picked Yulia, so like
But
Listel is a huge counter to
if
Yulia.
if Listel puts Reaper's Touch on Yulia, that's, I mean, Yulia is absolutely useless. Okay, you can keep going. Leonhardt.
Into your juggler, not the best. Okay, so your bans so far are okay. Although I would have. Did you just ban Bozel and Leon? Looks
Yeah,
like.
he did.
Yeah.
Okay, so I probably would have banned Josh over Bozel so that Leonhardt wouldn't have a faction buff. Or if you were going to let one of the faction buffers in, I would have banned Josh over Leon because Josh's faction buff is plus 20% AoE damage, and that for Leonhardt is insane.
Right.
Yeah.
So just a little uh, difference there.
Yep.
Okay, you can keep going.
Or alternatively, if you don't mind pausing it again, you could have banned. Let's see, you could have banned Liana and Josh, and then next turn banned Bozel and Leon, and then that would have taken care of all of them.
Yeah, that would have been a better ban since he has 3 healers.
So that's another way of exposing how you can ban 3 threats and 1 healer if they have 3 healers.
Right. So the healer and Joshua, and then Bozel, Leon next.
Yep.
Yeah, so you would have gotten exactly what you wanted to get rid of had you done it that way.
Yeah.
It's all
Must
about the
remember the three
must
healer ban.
remember. Yeah,
Three
3
healer ban
healer.
strategy. Okay.
All right, you can hit play. Listel Tia.
So yeah, he picked the Josh there.
I mean, I like Ellen here.
So so you banned Liana and Ren. Honestly, I might have opted for Liana and Iris. I don't know if you want him to teleport. What do you think, Lex?
Yeah, I definitely would have gotten rid of Iris.
Like, yes, with 3 healers, you do only have to ban 1 healer, as we've been talking about. But I don't think he was gonna pick Ren. He was probably gonna pick one of his healers anyway. So banning Ren is kind of a wasted ban, in my opinion.
Either way, Iris gives him the giant mobility to keep up with Leonhardt.
Yeah.
All right, let's see who you pick. Elwyn. Yeah. And he
And
gives you
you pick
close.
close. So yeah, he picked Iris, like we talked about.
So, I mean, I probably would have gone close over Rachel, but
So yeah, why didn't you pick a healer? It's very interesting.
Uh, I couldn't actually say why. I think I was surprised myself.
yeah, and like you
Okay,
said,
well,
you usually run out of time at the end of the band pick, so
Yeah, I use up a lot of time on ban pick.
close was by far better, by the way. Just want to put it out there.
Sure.
Um,
I'm just afraid Leonhardt's going to dive in, absolutely ravish your team, and you're going to have very few ways of recovering. Especially since he's first player, he gets to move first. I'm really worried about that right now. But yeah, we can see how it plays out. Do you remember if he was Balance Blade or Demon Slayer?
I don't recall what he was using.
Probably Demon Slayer. Does Josh have? Yeah, Josh has to have faction buff. Interestingly enough, oh, it's not an Awakened Josh. Okay. or it might be awakened. He just isn't bringing it. It doesn't look like his Leonhardt has teleport, so you don't have to worry about that so much. Okay, I think we're good to get started. Ooh, that's brutal. He's gonna teleport in. Out of curiosity, what are you hoping to accomplish with Elwyn there?
I'm hoping that someone will attack him and he won't die.
Got it. Yeah, Luna should have been right by Juggler, I think. You can pause it for a bit.
So I wasn't here for a minute. Sorry about that.
Oh, do you mind rewinding it a few turns, like right before the? Yeah, you could just go from there. You can have him pause it whenever, Trisket.
Okay, I'm just gonna watch it through. Giving King's Crown to Zerida, it seems like. Oh, Tenios. Hmm. Okay, yeah, so your Luna definitely should have been in guard range there. Oh, you don't kill. See, with maids, you would have killed.
Right. Definitely switching to nades.
Sorry, I keep repeating that.
No, it's important. I need to remember it.
Just want to point out every time you fail to kill. So yeah, I don't think you should have moved your Luna beneath your Bozel. Should have moved her beneath Juggler after using Wind God Realm. And I'm curious as to why you moved your Elwyn so far up.
Oh, I was hoping someone would attack him
So you were
because,
wanting to use him as bait?
yeah, because I was pretty sure he wasn't gonna die.
Well, I think he would have died to Leonhardt because your Elwyn's a Lancer. But aside from that, I don't. I mean, this is a really unfortunate match by the looks of it. Like,
Yep.
with no healer, it's going to be very hard for you to recover here, and your Rachel and Bozel are not going to be able to attack into any of his assassins. They're just going to die. So I don't know, Lex, what do you think?
No, I mean I agree. I don't agree with putting Elwyn down there as bait. I think even had the Leonhardt gone for him, he probably would have killed Elwyn instead of Luna with air slash potentially. You could have played it slower, as in kept Elwood and Luna near Juggler saved your Wind God realm until he got a little bit closer.
Okay.
Alternatively, if you had Close instead of Rachel,
Right.
that would be helping a lot here in general because you could push forward with a preemptive Aurora ring and then be immune from Josh's fixed damage.
Right.
But still, I think you'd be in a much better spot had you just moved slower, like kept Elwyn near Juggler and inched forward with a tank push.
Okay.
I agree.
But we can see what else happens. I mean, it looks after your Rachel dies, it's pretty over.
Yep.
Mm. So if you have Aurora Ring, that wouldn't have killed. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
Um,
pretty much it.
so I think that was a bit of the band pick, definitely, and then playing too fast afterwards. Um, I think it's important that you remember Juggler is one of Leonhardt's biggest counters. So if he's comfortable playing Leonhardt into your Juggler, I would just hug your units around your Juggler.
Okay.
You also have to be careful about getting Elwyn too low. Like let's say he does survive. I don't know, Zerida coming out trying to snipe him, but then Elwyn has like I don't know 1,000 health left. He could try to attack into the Zerida to kill Zerida, but he'll probably die before he does that, just because he's so low. Period.
Right.
Elwyn really wants the safety of his tanks, or you need to have some kind of healer there to bring him back up if he does bait somebody out. Any
In
other?
general, I think if you don't run out of time on the band pick and you're actually able to think about it, that you could make some very good decisions in the band pick. Every game we've watched, you've had a little bit of band pick issues, and that has
Agreed.
translated into having gameplay issues. So I think the band pick is where you should focus on improving here. I mean, your moves in game aren't terrible. Maybe you're a little bit too pushed up, but that is it.
Sorry, I'm a little bit too.
Pushed up is what she said.
Oh, sorry. Didn't know you didn't hear me.
Oh, sorry. I don't understand what you mean by pushed up.
Oh, like you, like in that last game, you put your Elwyn out there as bait. You,
Oh,
he
okay.
could.
Went too fast or rushed too
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Elwyn could have been your win condition that game, but you chose to sacrifice him for the noble cause, which I. um,
And I guess some things that we haven't talked about that would help is try to identify like what your opponent's win condition what is. Like that first game you showed us versus Lufia, where he first picked Zerida, second picked Claret. I mean, he's really trying to rush you down. So you want to do what you can to kind of thwart those win conditions. That's a game where you need to disregard healers and start banning high threats like Luna, which you did, but
well, you didn't ban the claret. That was the main thing. If you
I
see
think
somebody,
Yeah, I think I completely forgot about Claret being Meteor.
yeah, Luna or Zerida Claret is pretty devastating. I
the way
think.
that I remember the deadliest combination in the game is they're called the white-haired trio. It's where you first pick Zerida into claret into Luna. Don't let your opponent get that. Do not let them get the white-haired trio.
I mean, I'm pretty
They'll
sure that's what I ran into Zakima, the game I beat him just now. So, Do you want to do like a practice band pick with the information you've gathered from this?
Sure.
Because you can queue into Trisket. She runs more of a traditional box. I don't want you.
You cut out Lex.
Oh, you can queue into Trisket. She runs a more traditional box. That would be relevant practice.
Okay, yeah. Once my AI arena match is done, I
So you
will.
can head over to Apex Arena and just casual queue whenever she's ready. And then we
Over
can just
in
walk
just a
through a
moment.
band pick.
Cool. And I also wanted to ask about my shard farming priorities and where I should be looking to transition to in the long term.
Yeah, for sure. We can do
So
that
you,
while
yeah, you can do
she's.
that right now because I'm in the middle of an
So
AI
who are
arena.
you working on? You can just head over to your Gate of Fates or just your hero screen
Sure.
or even your bag.
So I'm gonna finish Landius
Yeah,
this
great,
upcoming week,
great.
That's great.
and I'm currently farming Yusuke,
That's great too. You won't. He'll be
Really
done.
good
and
3C coming up.
I'm late to the party on Luna. I'm farming for her right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so those are three very important people. Who do you want to work on after Landius?
I was thinking Leanna.
I, yep,
Yep.
I would advise that.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
mean, let's say 18 Gate of Fates came out today. Like, who would the other three people be? Liana and who else?
Uh, I think I would try and get 50 shards of Landford to trade for the Mystery Knight for the Valentine's banner.
That's a really good idea.
And I I didn't know who else to work on. I was thinking maybe Rachel for the additional debuff. I mean, the additional buff debuff clear at a 6 star.
yeah. So Rachel at 6 stars is great. But something you might want to consider though is that as the seasons progress in Apex, we have noticed a trend of it getting continuously more aggressive and more aggressive. And Rachel has actually been cut out of a lot of boxes recently.
I think we're even
Um,
starting to see that now. We see a lot less
yeah, like
Rachels.
I don't run Rachel anymore. Lux doesn't run Rachel anymore. In season 4 in China, they hardly run Rachel. So honestly, like at this point, if you didn't 6 star her during season 1 or season 2, I don't know if she is your top priority.
Right.
I'd save it
Um,
for somebody like Deedlit or some other new character like Mystery Knight. Did you not get a Hiei?
I did,
Is he three
but
stars?
he's only 3 star.
So
so Hiei is very playable at 5 stars. Very playable.
I would highly consider getting Hiei to 5 stars.
Okay.
That's not too hard to do. I mean, you get 15 right off the bat, and getting the other, 135 won't take too long.
And like a 6 star Hiei is really just a luxury. He gets all the kills that he needs to at 5 stars, assuming you build him with pure attack.
If you
Okay.
get some good rolls, like if you get decent rolls, you could even run him at 4 stars. I mean, that's. I think he'd be
I,
playable at 4.
yeah, 4 star Hiei. I mean, obviously, I would recommend getting him to 5 just so you can make sure he gets the kills you need him to. But if you don't have anybody else better for your box, 4 stars is still viable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Especially if you
So,
run something like Backstab.
and Hiei has great factions, and he is super meta right now. He would fit into your box.
If nothing else, he'll get banned third or fourth wave, period.
Yeah, people don't like playing against TA. Okay, I am ready to do a practice ban pick.
Seriously, though, 100% recommend working on Hiei over
Okay.
Rachel.
But I'm good with doing Luna and Leanna, prioritizing them.
Yes, definitely. Those are core
I
characters.
would definitely do Luna. I would even consider putting Hiei before Liana, but I mean, the
Sorry,
only
I didn't catch that.
I would consider moving Hiei ahead of Liana, just
Oh,
because the only reason people really bring Liana anymore is for again. Um, yeah, that.
sorry, you cut out.
Oh.
I missed the explanation for Leanna.
Here, let me move to my headset mic. That'll probably be better.
What I think he was trying to say, Matticus, is people only bring Liana for Act Again currently, and Act Again doesn't change throughout her star levels. Um, Me personally, I mean, I would put Liana in front of Hiei, but that's because I think, she's just gonna help you with everything, like content, PvP, all around everything. But I mean, if you want to be more aggressive, you can work with a 4-star Liana.
Okay. Yeah, I
Hey,
was more concerned about getting her to star for the additional debuff clear.
hey, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was meaning is Hiei before Liana. And the reason I'd recommend that is I think a 4 or 5 star Hiei is gonna add way more to your box than a 6 star Liana at a significantly less investment. Hiei is gonna start killing people and getting double kills at 4 and 5 stars. Liana at 6 stars is nice to have in the 1 out of 10 games where she needs to remove multiple debuffs from people. So I think
Okay.
Hiei would always be a threat. Liana is a casual convenience if you can afford the luxury of an extra debuff removal. Um, what were we gonna look at next? I forget. Oh, the practice band pick. Also, can you hear me better, or am I cutting out once in a while?
sounds good so far.
Okay.
Yep.
Was I cutting out for you, Tris?
Yeah, I think what it is not that like it's I mean it won't show up on the recording, I don't think, but it's like your Discord sensitivity is too low. So like
Got it.
your mic, whenever you go to a lower pitch, it doesn't pick up your voice on Discord.
Sure. Okay, you guys can cue in.
So you look at my box, what scares you?
Everything.
It's a good answer.
I
Uh,
will point out to you, I have 3 healers.
yeah. You also have an Omega, and my skill isn't completely built for all my box.
And this is a water map, so you might want to think about that.
So, what are you thinking of
Uh,
banning here?
uh, well, normally I would ban a tank. That would be my usual way of doing.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
but I want you to relook at my box and see how many meteor characters I have.
Lots. So I would probably ban Zerida first.
So I'll tell you this, if you go to ban a tank or one of my healers, I always first pick Zerida.
Ah, so then I would ban Zerida.
yeah, whatever you're comfortable with. It's just, I mean, I would hit confirm and then we can talk about it while she runs her time down. Just run your time down a bit, Tris.
Yeah, I
But
will.
like, yeah, I think the 3 good bans here would be Zerida, one of the tanks, or one of the healers. Because if you ban one of the healers, you can force her to pick a healer or one of the tanks.
But you run the risk of, what if I don't care about that? Which, me, as a player, I don't. I would still pick Zerida. So
And that's
it
probably the
depends on who you're
safest
fighting.
route for you because you know you can handle the tank push game because your Elwyn can one-shot tanks if it comes to that. Um, you don't know if you can handle Zerida, Claret, Luna.
Am I allowed to do my ban?
Yeah, you can ban. Okay, so you know you're gonna lock in Juggler. Um,
Yep.
So now you got to get rid of juggler threats or throw in a healer in there too. As in, you could ban Listel plus Iris or Liana or Tiaris.
I was gonna go Luna and Iris.
Yeah, that's good too. I think that's good because it opens up Yulia if you decide to run her later.
Okay, so here I would ban these two. And then
Okay, so he's got Tiaris. What are you thinking of banning?
I was thinking of Claret and Sakura.
I'd probably prioritize Listel over Sakura. Or you could do Listel and Sakura because he doesn't have a buffer for Claret.
I would probably do both.
Yeah, I would do both. If you're worried about Claret and attack blessing Claret, then you could lock in like an early Tiaris. But I'd go for a win condition like Elwyn or Yulia.
okay, so Elwyn is a good pick here. So I'd probably ban here Luna and definitely Yulia. Yep. And then I would pick Omega.
No.
Josh is good and Hiei. Yep, those are both very good.
Neon Heart. So you let me get a faction buffer for Omega there, FYI.
Oh, right.
My box is very hard to ban. I don't blame you. You probably did one of the better routes. All right, Lex, evaluate us.
Yeah, I mean, given his options, I think he did about as good of a band pick as he could.
So, Matticus, we don't have to play out this game, but I just want to show you the potential of an Omega on a water map.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to do anything except faction buff him.
I mean, the one thing I feel really bad about is the Omega and
Is what?
you getting Omega. especially with a
Yeah.
faction buffer. That's what concerns me the most. But then, I mean, his alternative was letting you get Hiei, which Hiei and Omega.
Oh, should I just press attack?
Yeah, I think she's just wanting to flex her Omega, I guess.
Sure.
I just want to show you that Omega with Leviathans is completely broken.
You think you can kill his Elwyn?
Yeah, I can kill that Elwyn. Okay, so if you could move your Elwyn as far up as you can move him, that would be great.
And buff.
Sure.
And faction buff, yeah.
Should I teleport him?
No, just move him up and faction buff him. All right. Witness the power. Hey, sorry, I got a cat on my desk. 1 second. Get off the desk. Okay, so normally I would attack at 3 range, but because of the positioning, I can't, so I'm just gonna attack at 2. Oh, barely.
You just
But
got baited.
yeah. But you can see I'm standing in water, so that makes Leviathan's attack absolutely insane.
How much
Ah,
defense
that's
does
why.
your Elwyn have?
674. I mean, normally I wouldn't go for an Elwyn.
Well, yeah. I mean, he also had phalanxes, so.
Oh yeah, I would have killed you if you had maids. Actually, I
Good thing he
100% would have
didn't
killed
bring
you.
maids.
It's the one time my phalanx pick worked.
But yeah, you can just see. So like if you're running, the traditional stuff like Omega on any water map, at least if you're facing me, is going to kill anything.
Hmm.
In fact, I've had my Omega on a water map take out like 70% of a juggler's health.
Wow.
70%. So he hits for a lot. He's a big boy. Um,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
always try and ban Omega because, again, my skill isn't raised for all my characters.
yeah, and against a box like mine where I have like 10 threats, you did a pretty good job banning. If I didn't have a faction buff, I would have been way farther off of killing, so you probably shouldn't have let me get a faction buff.
Right.
But yeah, I think you've well, what do you think? Do you think you've learned from us, or have we just talked?
I definitely do. I've picked up a lot of things. I hope to try and remember most of it. It's a lot of information.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course.
Uh,
The big things are um, do any keys,
yep.
salvage all the gear we told you to salvage,
Right.
replace your healer's gear with SSR,
SSR. Yeah.
and just work on your AB when you can.
Yep.
Your training field is what's going to be the most beneficial to your improvement as far as like just stats go. And I would say your biggest weakness is the band pick, but I think that's been fixed a lot after we've taught you the strategies.
Right.
And also for what it's worth, I think strength wise and star wise, your characters are good enough to get you to Langrisser rank by the end of the season.
Wow.
Um, if you actually play enough games, I mean,
Right.
you're at like what 30 games? Yeah.
Yeah.
But Trace, how many
So
games are you at?
I actually haven't even played enough Apex to I think I should play way more than I do. I'm at 72 games.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm at like
So
150. So
the only way to get better is to play. I mean, that's the
Right.
bulk of it. Playing, experiencing. The more mistakes you make, the more you realize what not to do next time. Like the first time I got completely owned by a Sakura, I thought she was the most broken character in the entire game. I
then you
now I
start
know how to
running
play
her and
again.
you're like, well, she's not that great
Yeah.
sometimes. Like
So,
Michizak just lost a game because of Sakura. So
But
Oh, can I ask you guys some
Yeah.
questions about my box?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So once I have the Goblin Knights leveled, I should look at switching out who for Sherry.
Shelf.
Shelf, okay.
I haven't thought
Um,
about the lines yet. So Sherry would get buffed by Zerida and Luna, right? Anybody
and
else?
And
Elwyn.
Elwyn.
And Elwyn. Okay, so you do have enough buffers for her to be a threat, even without Shelf.
So she's solid to switch for Shelf.
Yes.
Yes.
And I
Either
mean,
Shelf or Rachel.
yeah, Shelf or Rachel. The reason that I'm so like against Shelf is just because I mean, this sounds I'm gonna sound like a meta bitch, but she's not meta. Um,
I mean, I
and
see a lot of people running her sometimes.
yeah, but she doesn't get kills like Sherry will get kills. You know, it's just to me it's about like who's a one shotter, and Sherry can get you kills, whereas Shelf and Neil's just gonna do chip damage, in my opinion. But I
Okay.
mean, if you like playing a slower game, Shelf and Neil would suit a slower game because she's only got 3 mobility. She's got short legs.
Yeah, and to be honest, the only reason again she's in my box is for lack of anyone better at the moment to put in.
Yeah, so it's not that Shelf is bad for your box. I think she synergizes well, but I still think that Sherry would fit better.
Right. And my plan is to put in Sherry. Um, I do have some characters which are at 3-star, and I've abandoned them because I figure it's too late to raise them up. Such as like I have Claret at 3-star, and I have Joshua at 3-star. Should I just leave them there?
Mm.
I feel like you should leave Josh. I'm
Claret, on
a
the other hand,
huge fan of
Claret,
Claret.
I'm a huge fan of Claret too. My Claret's only 5 stars, and she still gets me the kills I need. So just keep
So,
that in mind.
and also like Tris and I were only started using Claret the past 2 weeks probably. I didn't use my Claret until I got her to 6 stars. I was just casually working on her, and then when I used her, I was like, oh my god, she's an absolute monster. And Tris has been finding a lot of. I think didn't Claret carry you from on like a
That's
9 game win streak to Langerser rank?
Yeah, so at the start of the season I was playing a box very similar to what you're running right now, Matt. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was actually this
Almost
exact
exactly, minus
it is
Shelf.
that it is that exact same box, but with Yusuke in place of Shelf. That's what I was running.
And she was
And
stuck at 17.
no, 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 no. I was stuck in gold 3 with a 40% win rate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put Claret in my box and tried to first pick or second pick her every game, and I won a lot, lost a few, then went on a 9 game win streak to Lancaster rank.
Wow.
And I played Claret in like 90% of my games. So
And
I wouldn't say it's
she
too
would
late to
first
work on
ban.
Claret.
She would first ban. Well, I mean, I do it too. I first ban Landius, just lock in Claret, and if you build your Claret right, even at 5 stars, she can just go in and one-shot jugglers. Um, and without a tank, you can just have everyone else on your team just ravish them.
Right.
So if you're willing to put some resources or training into flyer attack, level up some Griffin Knights, um, and get Claret
Oh,
to 5 stars. What were you
so
gonna
I
say?
can't. I was gonna say. So it's not advised to use her with the Pegasus.
So a lot of people
That's
do
where
use pegs,
that's
but
where Lux and I differ from most people. Since we first banned Landius and we only fight jugglers, there's no need for Holy Pegasus. But if you're fighting a Landius, there is a chance that without Holy Pegasus, you're going to kill your Claret on the Landius. But keep in mind, Claret misses a lot of kills and is just shy of a lot of kills when she's using Pegasus. So it's up to you.
Okay.
I think a
So
lot. Mm-hmm.
you're saying it's tank dependent on which troop to bring.
I would say so.
I mean, kind of. I think my Claret could probably kill Landius is just fine. I just choose to fight jugglers. And Griffin Knights are not like ridiculously squishy. they I mean their talent is that when HP is above 80%, attack and defense increase by 30%. So it's only 20% less than Holy Pegs.
Yeah, so chances are, unless the Thorns procs on the Landius, your Claret will not kill herself. But if the Thorns does proc on the Landius, without Holy Pegs, very likely chance of killing.
Okay, so in general, you would recommend the.
I would recommend a Griffin Knights, yes, because she gets kills with Griffin Knights a lot more consistently than Holy Pegs, assuming you only have like one type of buff, like a faction buff.
Right.
Um, and I only fight jugglers, so I can't give you much advice against Landius.
Sure.
And if also realize if you're gonna fight jugglers, you're gonna want like Ragnarok, whereas if you're gonna fight Landius, you want Peacemaker. So there's some
Right.
gear choices you're gonna want to contemplate.
And if you ever do finally decide to run Claret, I think Claret would be good in place of your Elwyn, probably. And she can actually wear your Elwyn's Peacemaker if you want to build her that way.
What enchant would Claret want?
Rough
Rough
Sea.
Seas.
Okay. Okay, so in the near future, I would look at replacing Shelf with Sherry, and then if I want to use Claret at 5-star, I could replace Elwyn with Claret.
Or actually,
I'd replace
I would,
Rachel.
yeah, I was about to say Rachel
Oh,
until Lux cut me off.
so replace Rachel with Claret?
Yes.
I would if it was my box or Bozil.
Okay.
Um,
And then you were saying earlier to bring in like a 5-star Hiei. Who would he replace?
Bozil. So
Bozu.
if you were gonna add in, let's say you're gonna add in Sherry, Claret, and Hiei, I'd drop Shelf, Rachel, and then either Elwyn or Bozil.
Or a healer.
Or a healer. Yeah, you could drop close. Easy. Because now your
And
box is looking a lot more aggressive. You don't need to rely on the 4 healers.
That's the thing, like if you want to build, if you still want to build Claret and these hyper aggressive characters, 4 healers is not going to help you as much. I think 3 healers is better suited for more aggressive players or characters.
And also consider if you're dropping people like Rachel on Bozil, how much do you want to invest into your training field for Sorks?
right.
It's a lot to take in. You'll have to think on it. Do what you, as long as you like do something within the parameters of what we've told you, there's really no way you can go wrong. Just keep that in mind. It's up to your preference. There's no pressure. You could keep your box exactly the way it is. Just focus on the holy attack and whatever else, and you could make Langrisser rank.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to build these other characters, like we're saying, you might want to just, modify here and there. It doesn't mean that you have to, completely change everything. Just make sure that you're just adapting, basically.
Yeah, I mean, for example, on my Holy and Demon training field, my attack is 44%. And I mean, earlier this weekend I was ranked 9, so you can skip a lot of important techs like my infantry attack, 50%, lancer attack, 44%, but assassin attack, 70, flyer, 64, cav, 61. So um, there's still plenty of time to focus on core attacks for flyers or cav, or if you want to go down the holy and demon. But if you think you're going to drop Bozil and Rachel in the near future, maybe don't spend those resources there. Um, Also, like Bozil, his single attack damage is pretty inconsequential. Usually he's trying to put you to sleep or AoE you. So if you do level up Holy and Demon attack, it seems like it would really just be for Rachel.
Rachel?
Yeah, and Rachel's still more of a support character, so maybe don't invest in Holy and Demon Attack. Maybe start looking at Assassin, who would definitely benefit Zerida. Also, could potentially benefit Hiei and um, Sherry if you decide to run them. Or Flyer, who 100% benefits Luna and would also benefit um, Clarette if you chose to upgrade her to 5 stars, and or Cavalry, which would benefit Landius and Yulia and Deedlit.
Mystery
Um,
Knight.
yeah, Mystery Knight if you opt for her. So, just some things for you to think about. And yeah, I don't think it's too late to work on Clarette.
Um, and I just want to reiterate, as long as you do something within the parameters we told you, you can't really mess up. So don't stress. Don't be like, oh well, I don't know which one I want to work. Just work on one. You'll be good.
Yeah, I think this box can definitely get to Langerster um, as is if you just polish it up a little bit and
Yeah, and I mean, like the other thing we
focus
talked,
on band pick. Yeah.
we kind of trash talked your shelf. Your shelf is not bad. I think your shelf is just fine. I just think that Sherry would be better. That's all. But yeah, I mean, do you have any other questions, Matt?
No, I think that covers all of the areas I wanted to ask about.
All right, and if you ever need like follow-up advice, Lex's DMs are open. So
Yeah. So I guess from here, if you decided to play more Apex, give it a whirl. Play as many games as you feel comfortable with, and if you feel like you're still running into roadblocks or you think your band pick needs some work, or you're just like, man, I don't know, this guy smoked me and I have no idea how he did it. Yeah, I'm more than happy to rewatch the games and go, okay, well, what's going on here? And I mean, sometimes the answer is you just got outwailed big time,
Right.
but I feel like that's rarely the primary issue. So
unless you're facing Dongo or Method, which you won't be in Gold 3, that's hardly ever going to be the issue. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say is, since you're in Gold 3, don't feel guilty playing as many games as possible, worried about losing. Until you hit Gold 2, there is no reason not to just continuously spam games, because you can't fall any lower than where you are.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
oh,
Once you're at Gold 2, keep in mind that even if you fall out of Gold 2, you'll still get rewards for Gold 2. So honestly, I would just like, if I were you, I would get as much practice as possible. You said you're kind of new to the PvP scene a little bit. You
Yeah,
haven't played that much, so I would just play. I mean, that's the best way to learn. Play.
right.
and I wouldn't feel bad like about a 40% win rate. Like Trisket was, what, 3 weeks ago she was at like a 41% win rate
Like 41%, yeah.
with like 30 something games played.
Yeah, I was about where you are right now, Matt, except a little bit worse.
Okay.
So, well, unless you got any more questions, I think that's basically all we had to offer you.
Oh, yes. One last thing.
Yeah.
Since now I'm considering both Claret and Hiei, would you recommend one prioritized over the other?
Well, let's take a look at your enchants real quick. Like, what kind of enchants are you looking at?
You mean my inventory?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not a whole lot.
Claret.
Correct. Well, I mean, he uses breeze, right? So,
Yeah. If you're going to prioritize one over the other, you definitely have more resources to build Claret. Oh, also, you have extra last rites. That is best for Claret.
and
So
he.
you, and Hiei, yes. But you can get away with not running a last rites on Hiei if you don't want to. He normally dies in one hit, even with last rites, so it's really not that important.
I'd consider like a Kage on Hiei.
Um,
Oh,
do you have an Omega?
I do.
You, mm, you see, I don't want to suggest anything your way, but Omega uses meteor enchants, and you have 176 rainbow meteor enchants.
Oh, he doesn't use breeze?
No, he does not use breeze.
Yeah, I mean,
But Omega
I
is
wouldn't build
super
Omega
high investment, so
because you're gonna want him 6 stars.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she's just pointing out your massive amounts of enchantments that could benefit him. You have a lot of breeze or rough seas, and that would be very good for Claret. Are those like PvP enchantments that were sitting in your items bag?
Oh,
Oh, those are just like the selection for AB. Yeah,
yeah.
got it.
you have an Echo skin pack that you haven't used. Is that what I see?
No, it's Macrolotto,
Oh,
an old one.
Hmm.
why do you still have that?
I already have this one. I have the orchestra one. I already have this one. I have the orchestra one for this one. So I'm really only missing this one and that one, and I haven't really felt strongly about either.
Yeah. I don't blame
Interesting.
you.
Ultimuller gets a much better skin coming up anyway. He gets like a school council uniform skin.
Yeah, I'd heard about that, so that's why I'm sitting on it.
So, how many summons do you have?
Sorry, summons?
Yeah, Trinity vouchers.
Oh, like 30 something.
Okay, so you have 16,955 divided by 88. It's
Because
192.
I was considering trying to pull more,
Pull more
Pull more
Joshua's.
woods.
or attempt to pull from where Josh was. So that's one of the reasons I asked if I should raise him or not, or attempt to raise him.
So, you said you're working on Luna, and you have a 4-star Liana, right?
Yeah, and Yusuke
Is your
currently.
Bozel 6 stars?
No, he's 5.
Okay, then never mind. If your Bozel was 6 stars, I was gonna recommend that you pull on the banner you're looking at right now, so that you could
Oh, try and get extra.
Luna and Liana shards. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if
yeah.
you pulled a Bozel, you could exchange, and it would just speed up your shard farming a lot.
Sure, sure. I get you. I get you.
But if you don't care to work on Bozel at all, then it'd be a waste for you to pull and potentially get a Bozel.
Right.
So with 220, he's got 226 right now. Summons. I would save it for Deedlit.
Okay.
Is what I would do. I wouldn't. I mean, if you get Estelles, you're just literally blowing vouchers down the drain.
Yeah, and
Right.
since you're working on Yusuke, you're not gonna need Josh as a time buffer at all because Yusuke will be there in his place.
Yeah, I feel like Josh kind of tapers off or has tapered off a lot with all the fixed damage immunities that have come out. Um, I wouldn't feel like you're missing too much when you're passing up Josh. Like I'm considering dropping him from my box for somebody
Okay.
with more speed.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just save for Deedlit then.
That would be my advice. Save for at least D-lit, and it's kind of a blessing and a curse when you don't have too many people you're trying to work on because you can actually make meaningful progress.
Right.
And you don't have too many characters that you really need to build for a really good Apex box. But I think Claret would move your box to the next level. And Hiei would be a very easy adaptation to implement.
Mm.
So
All right. Is that it?
I believe so.
yeah, if you have any other questions, or like I said, if you start hitting brick walls, just hit us up. We'll just watch a few games with you in the next week or the week after and figure out what we could do better.
Sounds good. And did you mention something about notes earlier?
Yeah, so I typed, okay, so the first giant block of text you see in the Discord is everything that I said you should salvage. And I put keep one next to some of them that you should keep one of just in case. Um, and then I also wrote down how you should level up core stats.
Right.
And if you don't understand that, I can explain it to you further later with like
Oh yes,
visual.
I definitely don't remember the details of that.
And
But
keep pulling for Hand of Tears and Balance Blades.
yeah, make sure you're doing your weekly gambles, which it seems that you already are, so that's good.
Yeah. But use up my burgers and 40 crystals a day for the stamina.
100% use your burgers and
Okay.
your crystals.
If you're not going to use your crystals, at least use your burgers, please. It's killing me. You know how much I would die for 100 burgers right now?
But you could just full
You
auto
sound
the
pretty
Yuki.
hungry.
I am very hungry. I need mats. I have 0. I have 65 pretty sprays and 0 chains, and I want to die.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. And I can't do anything with them because I have 0 of everything else.
Unfortunate. All right. Well, thank you both very much for your time. It was very informative.
No problem. And I guess if you gain nothing else, bring masked maids.
Bring mask maids. Except when you're
Definitely.
using Omega, bring Phalanx. No, I'm just kidding. Still bring maids. So I can one-shot your Elwyn, please.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, it's nice talking to you, Matticus. Have
You
a
as
good one.
well. You too. Thanks.